Yo, Flows, what's up? It's good to see you all. I hope you all enjoy the stream tonight. This is part 2, so if you missed part 1, go check part 1. We do have a cool panel tonight. We do have Joe, Jeff, Nathan, Nate, and Ian. How you guys all doing?
Good.
Oi.
I'm good. Amazing.
You guys? Yeah, we're starting 45 minutes earlier tonight. Woohoo! So we can have a longer stream.
Yeah, I haven't been recently in the stream, so I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, you've been missed, man. Busy with work, school?
School's off, but just procrastinating in general. And yeah, the video I've been procrastinating on the most, but it's just been other stuff with school. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you. Good to see everybody in the YouTube lands. What's up? Good to see you all. Please hit the likes, share the show. Really appreciate you all. So yeah, I was busy working on a video now before we started actually because last night before we ended the stream, I went on Matt Dillahunty's channel with R&R and it was bad. I was wondering why I couldn't get any arguments through. When I actually went to look at his stream, I was muted 90% of the time. So I would get one word in, like violating the first law of thermodynamics. That's all they hear. The rest is muted. They can't hear what I'm saying. And then all they would get is him screaming at me and swearing at me and telling me I'm stupid and, that kind of thing. So luckily we had this live as well, so it's recorded. So I'm able to make a video giving my argument, which he didn't let his audience hear.
Yeah.
Tends to be how they roll.
I found the video that I was talking to you about, Flatsoid, for your documentary.
Awesome. You'll just send me the...
Yeah, it's called Fanatic Glober, and you made it.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely check that. Yeah, guys, the documentary is definitely coming on. Looking forward to getting that done soon. I got some people I also got a contact for interviews and stuff. So if you are interested in having an interview on the documentary, let me know. Email me and I'll see what we can do.
Right.
Okay.
Sure.
Because it'll be interesting to see people's past, what can I say, interactions with obsessed Globers.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going with part 2, guys. We got, how far did we get in last time? We got it 12 minutes in. It's a 27-minute video. And so far what we got was, meteors. So that was their proof of the Earth not having a dome because of craters. Shot, thanks, Joe. Really appreciate it, man. But yeah, it's good to see everybody. Hit the likes, share the show.
This girl, oh my goodness, I've seen a few.
Erika.
Oh, geez.
Awesome. Yeah, Josh, I'm sure you'd be interested, man. I'm sure Josh would be interested for this interview. So yeah, that'd be cool. Okay, let's get going.
Craters and known meteorites that were found within those craters, including the Tunguska event. It was seen by numerous people, and it wasn't even the only meteorite that they found in the Tunguska Basin. They found all sorts of little miniature bolides that also were of extraterrestrial origin because they have a composition that only meteorites have. High amounts of iridium, right? Like,
Weird. Guys, I'm sure there's iridium in the ground on Earth, is not?
Oh yeah, there's
Yes.
plenty of it in Haiti that the U.S. is currently still mining and has been since like the mid '80s.
Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like when you think of the cobalt mines.
Yep.
Where they're using all the little children to mine for their batteries that they love
lithium.
saying friendly.
Yeah, the lithium. I don't know if you know this, but beneath much of Ukraine and around that area, I guess you could say the peninsula where they're having the war in the Black Sea.
Yep.
That
Crimea.
region, yeah,
Crimea.
right. So that region right there, apparently, this is the rumor mill, right? Around 500,000 tons worth of lithium down there.
For all their batteries. Yay.
But if you think about it, how stupid it is. They're saying we're making battery cars because we want it to be eco-friendly. Yet it does more damage than good.
Yes, 100%.
It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, and all these people buying these electric cars thinking they're being green when it's actually the exact opposite.
Worse.
You're being way worse.
And it's a trend. It's a trend thing too. It's also a status and how they look thing. You know, because they see their friends driving around with one, and then they feel they need to get. You know, it's kind of like having what the Joneses got.
Yeah,
So they
yeah,
feel like they're up there in society. Oh, look at me being green and all that other nonsense.
exactly.
So, yeah,
But
but
also-
but the other thing that's really useful for Ukraine is that they've got some of the most fertile soil in the world for like a
Yeah.
grain, right? Which is another thing that they want.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
a good point. Really good point.
And what's it? Kazakhstan? I think they have lithium as well in Kazakhstan because they were doing a deal with Russia like a few months ago.
Kazakhstan is one of those old world countries as well. Very old.
Yeah. But anyway, she's saying because we find rocks that have higher doses of iridium, therefore it comes from space.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, aren't these the Globers the same ones that claimed before that Thea happened when the moon, a great comet struck Earth here, and that's why we have the moon today. So
Yeah.
in other words, that means we have pieces of the moon on Earth.
Yep. Yep.
So
That's probably what they gave the Dutch as far as moon rocks. That those petrified woods from the moon, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, exactly.
Your
What a bunch
other
garbage.
point of evidence being what people see in it.
yay.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Fellas, come on, shift it a little bit.
Go on.
Yeah, go
on
ahead,
with your
mate.
point.
Sorry.
Yeah, or other evidence besides that would be people seeing it, but I mean, no proof.
Well, Nate, she's claiming that the tungsten thing that happened in 1908?
1908. Yeah.
She says numerous people observed this. They filmed it apparently
They
in
feel
1908.
right. I wonder what kind of.
I
camera
don't know
that was.
anybody in 1908 that had film cameras as a standard, so
Yeah.
that's really weird.
It's the same
And-
guy that filmed the moon footage for Apollo's. That filmed the Tunguska experiment. That's what happened.
And not just that, I mean, where is this film? Where's this footage?
Yeah.
It doesn't
Smithsonian.
exist.
The Smithsonian probably.
Everything's in the Smithsonian. Don't you think that's odd?
Or in
I
the
feel like
Vatican.
a lot
exactly.
of Globers would be bringing up that footage if it was real, if it
Yeah.
did exist.
Yeah, well, when you looked up last night, every time I looked it up, they were showing 2013 Russia light in the sky. It's like, what's that got to do with 1908 tungsten? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why would she cite that one and not like the recent ones that would have, like videos of them?
Yeah, where are those meteors?
Yeah.
Because the stuff it was made out of.
Because
I
think
forgot
about it. Can anybody in your own lifetimes actually show where there has been an actual meteor crater created by a impact in your own lifetime?
No.
Nobody that's alive today has ever observed one. You know why? Because it doesn't exist.
No. Now they claimed. I think there was a claim. Last year? It was last year, I believe. That it was around mid last year that Texas got hit with a meteorite, and then they found it, and it weighed like it was highly radioactive. That's what the claim is. I don't know if you guys recall that. And then the guys came to me at work. You see, there was a meteorite that struck Texas. I'm like, okay, how do you know? They're like, because the news said it. I'm like, okay, all right. I'm like, okay,
Because the
that's
news
all I
said
needed to hear.
If,
Yeah,
as,
that's what I was
as
gonna
soon
bring
as
up.
someone says the news says, then you can't take them seriously. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
The only other piece of evidence they have besides, civilians like regular people is, government news, scientists, whoever finds it is usually not. You don't find a normal person stumbling upon a meteorite, right?
Nope.
So, I don't.
But
know.
my
But you do-
question is not like that meteor. Where's the crater?
You do find a bunch of normal people that have a bunch of satellites falling on their farms, falling on their property,
With those
falling on their
big-
house.
with those big
With balloons
The
attached.
parachutes.
those big
Yeah.
white
Yeah.
balloons on them. Yeah.
Yeah, the
It's
big
weird.
old
And then they
balloons.
say, no, there's no such thing as satelloons. Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what's sad about this? We can show actual video footage, photographic footage of Satelloons.
Oh yeah.
Okay, in the sky and on the ground. They can't show us one real satellite in space.
Mm-hmm.
Not one.
Exactly.
Everything is always drawn. It's always painted.
And when you
We
see
s-
like there's that footage that they show of all of the satellites around the Earth, and it looks like a big jumbled bunch of garbage floating around.
Yeah, it looks like a bunch
Yet-
of cracker crumbs. Yeah.
Yeah, and yet when they're in the ISS, they don't see a single one of them. They don't come across them. They don't let floating around because some of those are in geosynchronous orbit, so they're supposed to be stationary. So they should come across them at some point or another, but yet
They should
see
know
nothing.
when. Yeah, with the geocentric satellites, they should be able to go and say, okay, we know the position, we know when we're going to get there. This is the angle we should point our cameras at. Let's look at it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nope.
Okay,
Nope.
let's get on.
I've actually, Jason, I've never heard this take before, that meteorites aren't from space. That's actually crazy to me.
That's, you know what's crazy? The fact you say you haven't heard this before. Have you never spoken to someone who believes in the Bible before? Where we say there's a solid firmament. You brought it up, Rakia. The fact you brought it up, the word Rakia, you know this argument. So she could be lying.
Yep.
Could be.
But what do we
Disingenuous.
expect? Atheists have no morals, guys.
Yeah.
Disingenuous. That's like their that's part of their MO.
Yeah.
It's not could be lying.
Yeah, because think about it. If the atheist doesn't have any morals to live by, who cares if they lie?
Yeah.
They have no exactly because to them there's no consequence because all this is randomized.
The
Yeah,
transcendental
just like Matt Dillahunty last night, where he says
Yeah.
he thinks it's idiotic to have to bear the sins of his forefathers. He thinks that's illogical and stupid. Why would there be a
Okay.
fall of man to have sin that he would have to pay for? That shows the guy's never read his Bible before. You don't
Nope.
pay for the sin. Jesus did that for you, dipshit.
Yep.
Yeah. And somebody that claims to be as smart as he is, you would figure that he would look into the Bible as some sort of source to debunk it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, these guys, man, the crazy thing I realized with these guys is I think many of them understand that there is a price to pay, but to some degree they don't want to go look in there because they're like, you know what, I like feeling like this and I like doing as I want to do, you know, and I don't want to pay that price.
That's the price that you have to pay, though. Dying to self. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
want to party. I want to do this. I want to do that the whole time.
Yeah.
They don't want to be able to say, I'm not in the mood. You know, if I want to go and sleep around, I want to sleep around. If I want to go and do this, I want to go do that.
Yep.
They just, it's literally, how
To
can I
the-
put it? They can't have self-control, in other words.
Yes.
The part where
Yeah.
I have a problem with it, which even though I have a problem with the whole thing, is when they say hell is actually made because it's meant to put fear into people, so you don't do these bad things. Are you kidding me? Greatest civilizations were built on fear and not morality.
Man.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
These
that's
guys
the
have
bad
nothing.
thing,
These guys have nothing that they can stand on that is actually solid. They have
Yeah,
a
that's-
house built on sand.
Exactly, but that's the sad thing, Nate. That's unfortunately how a lot of these atheist apologetics work. They try and argue, "Oh, you guys are just preaching hell and brimstone. You know, if you don't believe in God, you're going to hell. So He created you to go to hell. So I'd rather just go to hell because He's not a loving God." It's like, no, that's total bullshit. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's very
And
specific. It's just separation from God, which you
Yep.
choose, by the way. He doesn't force you. You choose it.
exactly. And what trips me out is that these guys don't understand that everything of quality, right, needs some kind of standard. Everything you do, every way you think, everything you see, it meets and it needs some kind of standard. If you're building a house, you bet, just like you mentioned earlier, right, that you need a foundation. You can't build it on sand or else it's going to fall apart. If your foundation is sand, good luck. But you need a rock solid foundation, and that foundation is founded in discipline. That's discipline, not just for building a house, but that's for everything that you do, every which way you think. If you don't have a standard, if you're writing and you don't have lines on your paper, you're going to have a hard time writing, right? And so everything requires some kind of standard.
Yeah, and this is why I see the atheist as weak-minded, weaklings, that they are not able to be self-controlling enough to say, okay, yeah, I'll give this up. You know what I mean? Just because it's the right thing to do. It's more like, no, if I want to do this, I want to do this. You have no right to tell me. Who's God to tell me this? So I'm going to do it. I see that as weak because they're conceding. They're not able to let go and just control themselves. You know what I mean? It's like, I'd rather give in to it and use it as an excuse. God's trying to control me.
Yes. Yes. And then, it trickles down. It goes from the individual and it trickles down into the family. And then now it makes you lose not custody, but it makes you lose control of your kids because it's like, oh, well, you can't tell your child what to do because you don't own your child. They're not your property, right? So your child could do as they want. And then if you try to discipline them and show them the right way of doing things, you have the rest of quote unquote society coming in to interfere with how you discipline your child. And then they introduce the government into how you discipline your child. And then now you run the risk of losing your child to an evil system.
Yeah, the children learn it from their parents.
Yep.
That's unfortunate. Also, where the Bible talks about generational curses. That's part of it.
Yes.
That's part of it, and these guys don't understand that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like someone's alarm's going off hectic. Just like Matt says, he doesn't believe in free will. He literally has free will to choose what he's doing now.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's free will.
I'm pretty sure. Wait, this is Matt. Is this Matt? Oh, it's Matt Dillahunty. Oh, yeah. I was just gonna bring it up because this kind of goes. I mean, yeah, this is basically the transcendental argument. I mean, Matt Dillahunty got destroyed by Jay Dyer in this.
Exactly. I love that you've seen that debate. That was an amazing debate.
Yeah. But yeah, like Flatzoid said, for even Matt to argue is proof that there's essentially, because what does it matter? Why would he have to argue if it doesn't matter, essentially? Right.
That's right.
Also, why is a guy who says he doesn't have a mind like debating?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because it's just things clashing together, and that was the thing. Because you can have false interpretations. It's just molecules, just strikes, striking together, and it makes your thoughts up, and you can have,
Yep.
So even the atheists can't say that, or our atheist worldview is right, because it might be their brain playing tricks on them. So.
Yep.
These guys.
May I ask, how old do you think the Earth is?
Well, let me ask you a quick
6,000
question
years.
before I answer that, if you don't mind. Do you think that all the people that have seen apparitions or images of Jesus Christ, do you think that all those people and all those documented events and recorded incidents, do you think that's proof of God?
No.
I don't, and I can guarantee
And why
you
would
that
I
the
think
number
that
of
meteors are proof that there's not a God?
Yo.
Get 'em.
And you know the difference between what he
Owned.
presented and what they present? Yeah, exactly. There is actual documentation of people dying, getting killed for saying they saw Jesus after he died. Okay?
Yeah.
There were 500 instances of people's testimonials that they saw Jesus alive after he got killed. He got crucified.
And you want to know something? After you see the truth, there's really after you see the truth and you proclaim the truth for what it is, like, for example, I was working at a company and then I got shit canned because I was telling the truth. And then like I was upset about it, but then I really wasn't that upset. So these guys proclaiming Jesus, they saw what they saw. So you can go and you can make an attempt on their life. What can they do about it? You know what I'm saying?
When that many people die for a lie, or that they say is a lie, it's truth, because no person would die for a lie. You know,
Thank you.
that's what's so hilarious, that they think that, oh, it's not real, when so many people gave up their lives for what they saw and what they believe.
Yes.
Well, I feel
Right?
like that's too much of like grouping it in, because even jihadists, right? 9-year-old jihadists will
No,
die
no,
for Allah.
no,
The,
no,
tri-
no.
the
That's
martyrs,
totally different, man.
I know the difference with the martyrs, that they were pure. They hadn't done anything wrong. Even Jesus, historically, because I mean, I don't think Matt Dillahunty rejects the historical Jesus.
See, jihadists. Okay, the difference
Yeah.
between a jihadist and someone who died for Jesus Christ is a jihadist was doing a violent action.
No, yeah, I know.
And got killed
I'm just
for it.
saying that dying for it is not ultimately
That-
like.
Yeah.
No, that's
Okay,
not
well-
what it's saying.
No.
It's like there's dying for, like, being killed, like, and not
Jenna.
doing any violent action towards that.
Yeah.
Being killed for it.
You got to
versus being
understand the
killed.
mindset difference.
Yes.
The Islamic people are brought up to believe you are not guaranteed to go to Jannah, to heaven.
Yeah.
Okay, but you are more guaranteed to go to heaven if you are a martyr for Allah. So
Yeah, no.
that's why they do jihad, why they go and be a martyr, because they believe if they do that, they are guaranteed to go to heaven.
Yeah, they
So
believe that if they kill.
do it. But the difference between the people that like saw the testimony that said they saw Jesus, they didn't have a reason to die for it. They could have just said, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, and went for it. But they got brutally killed for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, fair enough. The Quran promotes it. Yeah, no.
But see, also the Quran says that they have to kill unbelievers for their guaranteed spot in heaven. That's their belief.
That's one of the things. One of the
This
stipulations.
is how we're able to discern the truth from the untruth, because we know that the Bible is the truth, because as the best set of moralities and is the provable.
Yeah.
Historically too.
But now you have the synagogue of Satan that's basically running everything financially, judicially, education-wise, and telling you that you're crazy for believing in the Bible.
Yeah, how dare you? How dare you?
And we all know who the synagogue of Satan is.
Yep.
Or that that the actual meteors are coming from.
Because meteors aren't to mute you.
Because tens to hundreds to thousands of people, including myself, witness meteors every single night, right, as they streak across the sky.
Does she actually believe this? Does she think that little bright
Prove it to me,
blinking
please.
star is the ISS?
But isn't that supposed to be an asteroid, though? Asteroids is what lights up the sky. The meteor is what falls to Earth.
That's what it is. Yep.
So she doesn't even know the terms.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they're like the size. They're that huge, and they're the size of a grain of sand, is what we're being told. They're that big, but they're the size of a grain of sand, and they just land. Yeah.
But I mean, have they proven it is what they claim it is? Or is it just what they've been told it is, and that's what it is then?
Yeah. Right now, there's supposedly, I was just looking before getting onto the stream, there's an asteroid out there worth 10 quadrillion. Yes, quadrillion with a Q, y'all, right? Out there that you can see tonight, actually, at around tonight, right before dawn, right? You're going to be able to see this asteroid, apparently, in space, that's got all these high metals and stuff. And they said, oh, it's from this possible planet that was covered in metal. And I'm like, what is it, Cybertron?
Autobots.
And they call it a planetisma, or something like that. They've got all these extravagant names and all this in that. Oh, these guys just don't quit. Their BS just piles and piles of it.
Yeah,
it will never end.
Yep.
No, it won't. Not until the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
hundreds of people have worked with meteors, probably thousands have worked with meteors, and at least hundreds of people, especially talking about, like, just because I know it the best, the Tunguska event, have seen streak through the sky and crash, and then they have recovered the meteorite that created the impact event. These are events that
Show us them. Show us these people. Give
Yes, and-
refutable names. Give someone who's respectable that's actually done, and show us the documentation for these.
And show us the crater. I'd love to see the crater. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one I really want to see.
Yeah.
Because they're all over the earth, right? So they've been happening for a while. So they should still be a phenomena that happened. So we need to see these craters.
And supposedly they recovered a meteor from the center of those craters, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
Okay.
most of the time they say they don't because it just eviscerates. It gets dissolved away because it's just too much pressure.
From the
Yet
impact? Yeah.
claiming they're picking it up the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yep. These guys.
are so ridiculously common that you can buy a telescope, Jason, go to like Black Mesa State Park, set it up, and you will see meteors streaking across the sky. Or I bet you could go to a museum and see an actual meteorite, and you can see how their composition only matches other meteorites. So let's just take a step back.
Ooh,
Yeah, because we could
I'm
trust
gonna
what's in
go
a
to the
museum.
beach and I'm gonna pick up a pebble, and it only matches that pebble on that beach.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. We could trust everything that these museums have on display. Absolutely trust it.
When most of them,
I
they
mean, when I
make their
was
resin.
still studying art. Yeah, I mean, when I was still studying art, I was commissioned to make a fiberglass femur bone for a brontosaurus.
Amazing.
Yeah, they gave me a fake one to make a fake one.
It just fakes
This
on
is our
fakes on
best
fakes.
fake replica. Yeah, this is our best fake. Please don't mess it up.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but guys, the real ones, even if you sneeze on them, they'll literally just disintegrate. We can't bring them out. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, and, but they're
I
also
still-
radioactive too. Don't forget that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I still have yet to see a real dinosaur bone in any museum yet.
Yeah.
These guys just.
Yeah. Aggravating.
Just because someone says something is real doesn't make it real.
Nope.
Yeah.
But these people are going to stand by it day in, day out.
I mean, how long did the people believe that petrified moon rock was real? Until they found out, oh wait, it's just petrified wood.
But what's
Yeah.
crazy
People
about
believe
that
it's real.
Flats? Yeah, what's crazy about that Flats is nobody's like sitting heavy on that.
They're not
Like
angry
if,
about
as
it.
soon as you saw that that's fake, it should be the rest of everything is out the window. We're gonna discuss this fucking fake moon rock. Let's throw everything else that you claimed out the window because this moon rock that's actually a tree is now what needs to be discussed.
Well, it's been buried though. That's the problem. You get the stupid medias that are controlled. They go, oh, you can't put that out there. Then everyone's going to know the truth, right? So they just suppress it
Oh, my
and
gosh.
they blacklist it, right? So
Even
or-
if it
or
does
shadow
come
ban it.
out, there's always a way that they find to cope around it and say, oh, well, a bunch of things get, messed up. And,
Yeah.
it could be with anything, yeah.
Mhm.
So they accidentally gave a rock collection from Neil Armstrong's house that he was collecting petrified wood, and they accidentally gave him that rock instead of the real moon rock.
I mean, hey, they'll believe it. They'll believe it.
Oh, of
The
course
old
it would. Yep.
The old switcheroo, eh?
Maybe
Oh,
just right
just because I said that, now that's going to be a narrative that's going to go around saying that that's what happened.
Yeah. And it's going to be on like science.com. And it thus turned out that petrified wood, the old switcheroo trick, set to Neil Armstrong's house.
Yeah. They just need to write an article.
You have the right accent there.
You know?
And imagine from a scientific perspective that meteorites, the rocks themselves, come from Earth. Why does every single meteorite within their given category of like stony meteorites or whatever, but within their given category, why do they all match? They're all over the world, various sizes, right? Various time periods. Sometimes they're, millions of years within the rock. Sometimes they're on the surface. And yet they all have the exact same composition. And when new meteors come, they match that composition too.
Wow, that's amazing. You find rocks in the ground that match other rocks in the ground. Wow.
It's cool. So amazing.
That's amazing. It's like buying a box of Smarties and it tastes just like the other box of Smarties I bought last week. It's like,
Wow.
it shows you how gullible these people are.
Yep.
Literally what she's giving is no evidence that it comes from space.
Like,
Just because
look
the
at the
composition is the same as something else found where you found the other ones, the same composition, doesn't make any difference where it came from.
Nope.
I'm just looking at the face of Dillahunty there, and just it looks like there's just emptiness there.
Yeah, he's just sitting there like, can I send now?
Yeah.
Multiple kinds of wood will have, like, I mean, you can have, I mean, I don't know exactly, but you can have wood in Europe and then the same exact kind of wood type in Asia.
Yep.
This isn't like something that's, but this is a stupid argument. I mean, there's really nothing here to break down.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that composition doesn't exist in it by natural means. Like, what? Where?
Prove it.
Yep.
Prove it.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And we've got some of the biggest craters in the world here in the U.S., right? And it's like, where are these rocks that they're talking about?
Well,
Where you have like a whole series of, like, it would be littered with these rocks. Where are they at?
I've literally been to the cradle of humankind in South Africa, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a huge crater, as they put it. It just looks like a deep valley. But where is that meteor?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you could tell because geologists ran a blah 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 survey, and based off the impact, you know, this is what blah 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 and some other bullshit, and then people just nod their heads, like they zone out. They're like, well, apparently they know what the hell they're talking about because they're the ones giving us this show. So that sounds about right. And then we're gonna have, and then they wouldn't ask me a question like that if, you know, if they, you know, they wrote a book. Apparently, it's got to be true. Fuck out of here.
Yep. But I also want to find out, remember part 1, she said Big Bang. Now, has she brought up any link or correlation to the Big Bang yet?
Not so far as, you know, we've been listening.
There's no proof of that. That's for darn sure.
No.
I mean, she started off with, oh, you believe in a firmament, Rakia. But what about the Big Bang? And then starts talking about meteors.
Yeah. No. At least we could see something if we did the footage of the lightning strikes, where they come from. We have something up there that's solid, or something up there that's firm, right? And you could see that. You could see these sprites and elves and stuff like that. And so we could show that. We could show some kind of covering. We don't know what the hell it is, right? We don't know. But could that be the firmament? There's a good chance it could be. But that's something we could work from, right? Where's this Big Bang that they're talking about?
But
they can't even remember what happened. Yeah, people could barely remember what happened 10 years ago. And you're going to talk about some event that occurred billions of years ago? Really?
Yeah.
Yep. But the CMB, man, we see a microwave background radiation. Come on. So therefore,
carbon dating is real.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the one. I love that one.
We had fishes that, I mean, we had cows, you know, that jumped in the ocean and they became dolphins, for Pete's sake. Come on.
Yeah, right. Or the fishes, the mud skippers that we have. Yeah, they're still in an evolutionary process.
I mean, guys, we are all cannibals. We eat strawberries. It's our cousins.
Yep. Yep.
Really ridiculous stuff. What's up, Roger?
Not much. You started early, I guess.
Yeah. For this week, I'm gonna start early. I still want to know, PJ, is it cool if I do tomorrow and you do Friday?
See.
PJ?
I'm starting. I'm not muted.
Oh, I thought you muted.
I start. I'll be starting what time on Friday? Tuesday.
Tomorrow's Tuesday. That's what I'm asking. Can I do Tuesday and you
Oh,
do
you
Friday?
want? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fine. You do Tuesday. I'll do Friday then. Cool. So I've got the morning.
Yeah, because I'm going to be on the road Friday morning, and I don't think I'm going to be able to stream Friday night.
Oh no, that's perfect. I'll just do my morning stream. Then that means I haven't got a night stream to worry about till Friday. Yeah, that's good. Friday, Flats. I'll do Friday. No problem.
Yeah. So then tomorrow night we'll start again at 8:15.
Cool.
I think that would be quite cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Where would they be coming from? I'm sorry.
I don't know. Just like, where do trees come from? They come from the ground. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
If I pick
Right.
up a rock on the ground, where did that rock come from? Oh no.
Through an evolutionary process called blah blah blah, and then they attach some Latin name to it, and then they make themselves look so smart, and then you don't have a comeback for that. You're like, I'm sorry, I don't have a Latin name for your bullshit, but we'll go with what you said.
But think about it. You walk along the road and you see a rock on the ground. Where did that rock come from, I might ask? I just picked it up from the ground, but I'm going to deduce it came from up there in the sky.
Yeah.
Was there a crater left behind? That's my question.
There we go. This is exactly Sean. Good to see you, by the way, mate.
You know, she reminds me of Velma from Scooby-Doo.
It does have
Yikes.
What's up, brother? How you doing, mate?
Hey guys, I'm good. I'm
Hey,
out
son.
and about, but
It's good.
Hey,
I'll be listening in.
Nice to see you, man.
Good to see you, man.
all right,
back
Cuz,
with you.
how you
Alright.
doing, man?
Watch out.
Did you watch
That's
Kiwi's
wild.
treatment that I sent you, Classic?
On this, yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
I'm waiting till his series totally finished, then I'll watch it. But I'm sure he's ripping them apart.
Oh yeah, the first lie. This goes right into the.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we lost you.
He's got a
You
touch
lost
of
me.
Yeah, he's got a touch of the ironworkism, huh?
Who, me?
Yeah. Oh, we lost somebody.
I don't know. I'm still in, as far as I know.
Oh, my bad.
And
Who is it?
I'll unmute you here in just a second, Jason. But it's important to point out the absolute epic failure of skepticism and reasonable epistemology.
That's his comeback?
Every single person.
Sorry?
Sorry, nothing. I was just saying that's his comeback.
That's his comeback, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Nate's here. Hey, Nate.
Everyone hit those likes. Everyone who's
Hit
liking
now.
this, everyone who's watching, like them. Go on.
You hit those likes, guys. Share the stream. Really, really does help you guys all rock.
Who has an apparitional experience that they attribute to Jesus is concrete evidence that people have experiences that they attribute to Jesus. It is not concrete evidence that their attribution is correct. And similarly, as we observe meteors and begin to investigate them, that's concrete evidence that there are meteors. That's not concrete evidence of their origin. Erika has just gone into the similarities and not to mention the fact that
So you just threw Erika's argument in the drain. Well done.
There are things that they claim to be meteors.
But then if he's telling us that, I mean, he just threw an argument down the drain, then why is he agreeing with her that it is a meteor coming from space? If he just said it's not evidence that that's the origin where it comes from.
It's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, I suppose.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know.
then why is he even arguing this point then? Then it should just be, yeah, you can't deduce where its origins, so therefore we have to move on to another argument.
Some people say that the origins are the dome itself and pieces of it fall off. So.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
don't think
ask
so.
that, Flatsoid. Did you go away from that argument that they could just be? You brought up some verse that talks about something falling from the sky.
Well, the angels that are quoted falling from the sky.
Yeah, Wormwood, where it talks about the stars falling
Wormwood,
to
yeah. Wormwood, yeah. That's what
Definitely.
Is that PJ?
I'm saying they will, definitely.
I like that, Godzilla.
geosynchronous satellites orbiting the oblate spheroid Earth, not the flat Earth, and that everything about mathematics and gravity and I'm going to guess you don't believe in gravity, since that's part of what gets thrown out too. But if you think that the
you
fact
don't need
that
gravity.
if you sorry, what?
Thank you.
According to Occam's razor, you don't need gravity, just density.
No.
Yeah.
No, you don't need
She
that.
came right on time.
And
It's very simple, yeah. It's density, and we can take this through the scientific method, like they do. What is the independent variable that they keep manipulating?
It's
The density.
That's
They
right.
change the ratio between the object and the medium's density. They don't manipulate gravity because they can't manipulate gravity because they don't even know what the hell it is.
No, but they claim they do. My God, they go into it.
Yeah, even their god, Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's over there. He's like, I don't know what it is. Next question. And I'm like, well, yeah, because you guys make shit up as you go along. And not only that, it's still theory-based. But I'll tell you what's not theory-based is Archimedes' principle, Archimedes' law of buoyancy and density. Like, these things are in stone. They don't change. They don't go away. But gravity is something that's starting to go away. They're starting to forget about it. And they're talking about, bending space-time or some other quote-unquote theory again.
It's weird how people thought we needed a white guy to have an apple fall on his head to figure out gravity.
Oh yeah,
a white guy.
How things fall.
Powdered wig.
I like that. That was good.
Like, yeah.
You got to accept little g, man. You have to accept the g.
How's it going, Dave?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, Dave.
Dave, what's going on, man?
Sean, I just sent you a link if you want to come join as well, man. We're good to have you in. But yeah, it's correctly says observational meters are concrete evidence of existence, but observations of Christ are direct and somehow not concrete evidence. Yeah, that's exactly what Dillahunty was saying.
Nice.
Yep.
It's double standards.
Manipulate the modulate the medium, and you modulate the acceleration. It's that simple, man. Again, they're using word magic. Gravitas, yes. Weight. What is weight? Weight is the relative density of an object within a given medium. So,
but Dave, what causes weight?
Because of their weight, yes. They also rise because of their weight. It depends on the medium and the ratio between the object and the medium.
It's just displacement. It's
displacement. Yes.
And I'm going to go out and I'm going to say displacement is a force.
I mean, you can, it creates a force. That's why I say relative density disequilibrium is literally taking general relativity and applying it in the real world because it is displacing the medium around it.
So what is weight? What is weight, Lancewood? What is weight? What's the cause of weight?
It's just a quantification of it's a quantification we use, whether you want to use kilograms, pounds, whatever. It's just the ratio of the relative density of the object to the given medium that it's in. For instance, a 300-pound man needs physical therapy. So what do? They put him in a pool. Why do they put him in a pool? Because it reduces his weight. Why does NASA use a neutral buoyancy lab?
Yes.
Which is a pool.
It negates your that. Yes.
Well, let's put it this way, guys. Let's take, for instance, a 100-kilogram ball. You drop it. Go in the water. You drop it in the water. It's going to sink. Take that same 100-kilogram ball, beat it out flat, and then stick it on the water. It floats.
Yes, it floats.
Because it displaces around it. It's as simple as that.
Huh.
Same mass, same amount of density. It's just the ratio between the mass of that structure and the medium around it causes the displacement. Enough. Archimedes principle, like you said. That's all it is.
So if you're flying high enough to the sun, wouldn't the gravity of the sun reduce the weight you have towards the Earth?
They say that the percentage is too small.
Oh, okay. So you can't measure it? It's non-existent?
they say it's too small, but it's weird because you should be able to have some kind of instrumentation that say will pick up the pull of the moon, for instance.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there is no.
There, like it pulls the tide side to side, or pulls the water up and makes a bulge, stuff like that. That's nonsense.
What's up? Someone just popped in. Who was it? Oh yeah, Ryan. What's up, man?
Hey, Ryan. Long time no see.
What's up, guys?
Okay, carry on.
Thank you for demonstrating denseness for sure. But gravity is the description of mass's interaction, and the mathematics of gravity.
The mathematics.
Everything from the accretion disk from a sun that leads to the potential formation of planets. You just took you off.
Oh yeah, let's make math in Narnia, so therefore Narnia is real.
There you go.
Yes.
Bingo.
What is the argument? The last I don't know. Last time where we're getting the people that don't understand that math can lie.
You know, it's funny you said that, Flats. Yesterday, my brother is a high school math teacher, and he's like, why are you doing this flat earth nonsense? And he's like, don't you know I've taken years of advanced mathematics, so I know these things? And I'm like, really? Okay. So I was like, when have you applied your mathematics? He's like, I apply it every day. I was like, tell me how. He's like, well, me and my colleagues, we discuss with the physics teachers that discuss with the chemistry teachers. I was like, okay. And we make the syllabus and everything for the next year. I was like, okay, so how was it applied? He's like, I just explained to you. I was like, okay, so basically, you know, I ended up, Dave, taking your example. I was like, okay, man, if I have 10 unicorns and tomorrow I get 5 unicorns, the next day, how many unicorns do I have? He's like, you got 15. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. I was like, so if you came into my house, how many unicorns would you find? He's like, 15. I was like, you sure about that? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay, I guess you've made my point. He didn't get it. He just doesn't get it.
It's such a simple argument, yet these people don't understand what the argument's about. Just because you have math, just because you have math to describe something, what it's describing doesn't make it reality.
Yeah, exactly.
You have math for dark matter. That doesn't make dark matter a thing.
There's math for a fourth dimensional cube. That doesn't make a fourth dimensional cube something in reality.
That's right.
Yeah, there is no such thing as a tesseract. As much as they want it to be there is no such thing as a tesseract.
There is in the comics and the movies.
Yeah, well, they try and show visualizations of it. Even the visualization doesn't show it 4-dimensional.
Yeah. Well, Einstein tried really hard with that, didn't he?
They did try.
Most of this globe is comic books. It's like just sci-fi.
Yeah, science fiction.
And you know, I think a lot of that has to do with it as well, because if you think about it, if these guys come to the realization as to what this place is and what they've been fed has been a lie the whole time, you know what happens? There's Star Trek, there's Star Wars, Transformers, Lost in Space, Red Dwarf, Doctor Who, all that shit goes out the window.
Everything they consume.
Yeah.
No, not Doctor Who.
Yeah,
Remember,
right.
A lot
And
of them
then
still believe they can join the Space Force one day. You know what I mean?
Donald
Dude,
keeps
they're
telling
offering
join up.
degrees. They're offering a master's in space economy.
Oh.
I actually thought you can sign up. It's only $32,000. What the fuck? Why not? Right?
Oh,
Why
yeah.
not? Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to go get one of them.
Jeff, stick to reading Enoch.
Well, so you can
You'll
be
do better.
Hey, I'm reading Joshua right now.
So you
nice.
could be a desk clerk at the new Space Hilton. You know?
I want to be the bartender.
Yeah, right.
All those kids who were asked, what do you want to become when you grow up? And they said astronaut, never became one.
No.
No, not really. And if they did, they had to sign a disclosure.
Oh,
Exactly.
dude, I was ready for it too. I was ready. I had a fucking snowsuit that looked like a NASA suit, had the little patch on it and everything, man. I'd go out in the snow and walk all slow like I was on the moon and shit. I was ready for that, man.
Nice.
I mean, I used to love like I was a hectic fan of Star Wars and all that. I still
So,
enjoy it, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But it's not the same though, because I catch myself like, oh, this is just like impossible. And then now it's so predictable.
Yes.
It's
Well,
so
then you have to-
predictable what's going to happen because you're like, I can tell. Okay,
Then you have to find the mysticalness in the real world. Noah's flood was real; it did happen. Or
Yes.
the global flood was real; it did happen. All of Jesus's miracles were real; they did happen.
And then Nate,
the Bible is the greatest story ever told.
Man, Nate, and then you want to know what else happens once you start going down that rabbit hole? You realize you're responsible now for your actions. Now, all the fucked up shit you did, it's going to come and bite you in the ass at some point, and you're going to have to account for it. You're going to have to answer for all your fuck ups. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what they don't want to come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
Okay.
remember, why would they want to admit that they actually have to account for anything they do?
And
Why
that
do you
means
have to
that'd
have
be
conscience for something? Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Then they would
that
have
means
to hold these space agencies accountable for lying to us for how long? Like since the 1500s? Not 1500s, not the space agencies, but the heliocentric.
Oh yeah, in general, yeah.
So it's LJ, amen to that. $2 super chat. He says, Solve is every spinning ball shell's worst nightmare. Super chat, really appreciate it. You rock.
What it is, I think they don't want to be responsible for their future actions.
Alan
they
got
feel
his.
they can just do whatever they want.
Alan got his new hoodie today. It's really awesome.
Oh,
Maybe I get my shirt. I'll check the mail.
Oh yeah. It looks like very good quality, I have to say.
All I get is shit from some guy named Bill wanting my money all the time.
That was a good one, Slav. Good.
Mute. Just before we could even get to anything substantive, you just asserted we don't need gravity.
We don't.
Where is your expertise and your evidence that suggests that gravity isn't real?
Swimming.
Oh, what did I just press? Oh, sorry, guys.
Oh no.
I think the question should not be where is gravity is real. I think you say why are you reversing the burden onto me? First, prove that it is real before you can tell me I'm not allowed to show that it's not real. Correct?
Yes.
Because you
And he's
can't-
acting like it is.
You can't disprove a double negative. I mean, you haven't proven gravity yet, so how can he disprove something you haven't proven yet?
You haven't proven. Thank you.
Well, they declare it's a law, right?
Let's see if I can. Where is in the gravity now? Sorry.
Now they want to use their words against
Why is it
us,
going?
too. It's still a theory. These things are still theories. Like nobody's talking about that.
Down, sir.
Because it's more dense than the oxygen around it.
Okay.
Because it's more dense than the oxygen around it, that's why it falls, not because of, I don't need gravity to explain it.
Thank you.
I don't even know where to begin with that. And let me guess, you do
Is
think
it
the
not
Earth is
true that dense objects go down and helium is lighter than oxygen, so it goes up?
Well, why does it go down, sir?
Because it's denser, and the medium around it cannot support it. So
we
it
go. They think that you
displaces
have to
the medium
establish-
around it.
Why does helium go up, sir? Why does helium?
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
You could just go to a periodic table, man, and start seeing and going down the list: hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, oxygen, nitrogen, fluorine, neon. Like they start getting heavier and heavier as you move to the right. So,
The gravity arguments are really the easiest because they always either go to it falls at the same rate, which that's easy to disprove, right?
And that's only in a vacuum, Nate. That's only in a vacuum, which doesn't.
Only in a vacuum, yeah, I know. Because
And-
in water it falls at different. Yeah, I know.
But
And remember-
wait. With a vacuum, what is the independent manipulated variable there?
Sounds like
The
it's
medium.
to me.
Medium.
yes.
And
Oh,
is that environment truly without a medium? No, it's
No.
not. Because if
Always
it was, the
something.
walls would be smashed together. There is no such thing as a vacuum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's
now
just
Unless
like
we make
the
it.
baby
Unless
Boston
we
Tea
make
Party.
it.
Guys,
even then, it's just a low pressure. It's not a vacuum. It's just low pressure. There's still a medium in there. If there weren't, what's keeping the walls apart?
That's
And then their other argument is, like she just said, well, why doesn't it go up? If it's less tense, why would it go down? Why can't it go sideways? Why can't it go right, left? Why can't it go in all directions?
Well, gas does go in all directions.
Well, I got another question. Is there a natural? Is there a sort of natural order to things how it works?
Yeah.
So why is it too hard to understand that the natural order for densities is up and down?
Because they have to make some weird variable like they have for all of their math.
I mean, it's the same.
They put it into ours and say,
yeah, it's akin to saying that. Why do you get older and not younger?
Well, that's a hand of time, right?
It all goes one direction.
It's the order. Yeah.
Why doesn't it like dip? Why doesn't it like dip and curve? Like at 30 you look really old, at 40 you look super young. Man, why doesn't that happen? I really wonder.
Yeah.
Entropy is the word.
I think and I think one of the ways to start making things weird is just get a piece of styrofoam, something that you got delivered to you, get it, break it to pieces, watch what happens. You know what I'm saying? Some of it, but because you start generating that static electricity, some of it will just stick to you. You know what I'm saying? And it will then oppose what gravity normally does. So now you have to introduce something totally different. And these guys, they have a hard time trying to explain that.
Yep.
Oh, I got a question for you guys. Have you ever walked around the yard and ran into a vacuum anywhere? Did you find a pocket of vacuum? It just happened. It's not a natural thing.
Flat Zoid, I have to, I get pulled to the center of the earth, so I have to just pick up. I just have to keep my desk clean to make sure I don't flip over anything.
Yeah. Somebody said something about why doesn't it go sideways? I know I do that all the time. Well, it can. Watch. Let me turn this.
If you attribute the force to it.
Yeah. And it ain't gravity, is it?
Nope. And you know what's showing you? This is just something. Wait, pause it quickly. This is where the upward rising Earth is.
Yeah, I know.
Acceleration is not the cause for that movement. It's the displacement.
Right. See how the helium balloon went forward in opposition to everything else?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because why? The air was heavier than the helium balloon.
Yeah.
Remember, everything.
Only temporarily. Only temporarily was it. So an upward acceleration would only be a temporary pressing down. The same thing as when you're in a car. When you're getting up to a speed, say 60 miles an hour, you can feel yourself press back as you get up to that speed. Once you've reached that 60 miles an hour, you move around freely. There is no force from it, right?
Yep.
And so I had these people, somebody arguing with me in Facebook. They said it's upward movement, not acceleration. I said constant movement is acceleration. Exactly. If you're in your car, do you just push the pedal down and then let it go? Or do you have to push it down and hold it?
But you see, this is the issue which we bring up a lot, where we're saying, if you climb in a car and accelerate, you get pushed to your seat. But now if you're not accelerating anymore, you're just going at a constant speed, you're not pushed against your seat anymore. So according to their theory that the Earth is not accelerating, then they can't claim we have a pressure pushing us anymore, because everything would equalize anyway, because there's no acceleration of force to push. Because their cause of this is the acceleration, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With us, we're saying you don't need this acceleration. It's the displacement that gives the cause.
Yep.
Well, this doesn't work on an orbital scale, and this is why they threw it out, right? For orbital mechanics.
It shouldn't. Yeah. Right. And it should apply because we're moving in an ellipse, which means at some point in that ellipse, there's an acceleration and deceleration, right? You figure we could detect these phenomena.
Yep. What's up, Sean? How's it going, mate?
Hey, Sean.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm running some errands right now, so I may just kind of sit back and listen a little bit. But I do like what the gentleman said on the panel already a few minutes ago. he said that why doesn't gravity work in other directions than just down? And I've always thought about that. I've never heard anyone ask a glober this. Is like, if I'm standing next to a mountain full of iron ore, which has an incredibly thick density of mass, why am I not somehow attracted to that mountain? And I can measure some sort of difference between the attraction between my body and the mountain and my body and the ground. But that's never talked about.
Yep.
I'm only attracted to my wife.
God created it that
It's
way,
not
man.
gravity.
But see, this is the same argument I gave to FTFE when he wants to claim gravity's pulling gas. So I said, okay, Mount Everest, okay? It's the same mass as Earth. Why don't we see any gas attracted to Mount Everest?
Right.
It's less gas in Mount Everest.
Yeah. So how does gas escape the pants of really fat people?
Imagine that you're
orbiting
walking around everywhere to find people that are overweight just so you can breathe better.
It's just following around the large person in an orbit as they walk.
But yeah, the main point here is gravity has never been shown to be proven. They're just making the claim, and because they got the math for it, it doesn't make it gravity. It doesn't make it true. The equations are only describing observation. That's it. That's where it
Well,
stops.
the only thing they did with the math was add a G to acceleration, correct?
Yeah, they call acceleration G.
And
that's not really math.
And anything to do with orbiting or spinning is on a planetary scale, so it's unobserved. It doesn't, can't replicate.
Yeah, but I mean, we can change that and even say, okay, we can have an orbit on a donkey Earth. We'll just change G to D for donkey.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. But you want to know at the end of the day, if the stuff doesn't exist, then the math is absolutely useless. It's absolutely useless. Like, that's the part that they can't
Not
seem to get
used.
through their heads. You don't need it.
I mean, the flight manual, literally, you open it and it says "fly it like it's flat," man. You don't. Please don't try to dip down and hit the Grand Canyon.
Wasn't there a guy that tried that and he wrecked his plane?
Yeah.
I'm gonna prove the curve.
Yeah, right. They're like, yo, listen, fly it like it's flat. Also, it doesn't move. Please don't treat it like it moves.
You won't get to where you're going.
Yeah.
Please do not put your helicopter up in the air and wait for the Earth to spin to your destination.
Oh, God, it reminds me of Bob. That debate was a good one.
Bobby.
Bob Science guy, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He debated flats over it. It was funny.
Literally telling me I'm wrong while he's showing exactly what I said.
Yeah, he didn't believe that flats actually thought the Earth was flat. And Jaron had to stop him, like, he thinks the Earth is flat, dude. Like in the middle of the debate.
He wasn't there to debate, remember? He's on a debate,
No.
but he's here to debate.
No, I'm not here to debate.
I really wish you asked him the question is, if you brought that picture up with that plane crash about guy trying to prove the Earth curve and say, this is you, Bob, isn't it?
Well, it was hard enough just to get to find out what plane he flew, you know what I mean?
We didn't barely get to see his license, too.
Yeah, what did he fly?
Sorry?
What plane was he? What plane was he qualified to fly?
I think just like normal Cessnas and things.
Yeah, I think it was just Cessnas.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Pipers, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's another question that I've never heard people talk about is, airliners, they're extremely cheap, right? They're charging you for your luggage. They're charging you for, these crowded seats sitting in like, sardines in a can.
Right.
And if it would actually take more fuel to go against the wind patterns and the rotation of the Earth, go in the opposite direction of its rotation. So they would charge you more for the fuel that it takes for flights going that direction, and flights going with the rotation of the Earth and the supposed atmosphere that spins with it. They would charge you less. because it's a lot less fuel consumption. But none of that's a reality because, obviously that's not how things work. But it's just funny that there's so many practical concepts within business that are ignored because the average person doesn't own a business, so they don't think about these things.
I don't wake up thinking about gravity neither. I promise you that.
Dense than the oxygen around it.
It's more dense than the oxygen around it. Why doesn't it go up? It's more dense than that too. Matter of fact, as you proceed into the upper atmosphere, it becomes less and less dense.
That was my
Why is it
question as
moving
well.
towards the thing? Why is it moving towards the thing that is more massive and more dense than the area that is less massive and less dense? Why is it going that direction?
Whoa.
Wait.
He didn't make sense now.
Helium.
Why is it moving down to something that's more because it's still denser.
Yes.
What he's grasping at is there's a downward bias towards the center of the ball Earth. That's what he's trying. Yep.
Let's put it in terms maybe this guy can understand. Have you guys ever watched cheerleading before?
Yeah.
You know when they build these towers and they have the lightest person on top?
Yeah.
Okay. What happens if the people underneath cannot support that person?
Oh, the whole tower comes down.
Yeah. Now remember, that person is still heavier than the air above her, but the air can't support her. The tower, on the other hand, can support her until they can't anymore. It's all about support and displacement. Let's do another one. She jumps in the air and she stands up like a straight pole. Is it going to be more difficult to catch her?
Yes.
And let's say if she's lying flat when they catch her, there's
That
more
would be
surface
easier.
area to catch her. The same thing. It's the same thing if you go and lie in water. You lie on your back, you fill your lungs, spread out your arms, whatever. More surface area, more likely you are to be buoyant.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing. It's just displacement. It's got nothing to do with gravity. Even though you want to place gravity into it, doesn't make it gravity. Just like we keep saying, Archimedes' principle came 1,900 years before gravity was even postulated.
Yep.
Are you telling me that people couldn't understand how ships were working just because Newton didn't come up with gravity yet? Their equations had no gravity in because they understood it's simply displacement.
Yep.
Oh, it sounds like that'll float. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we always get this argument, no, but there's G in Archimedes' principle.
Oh.
So who gives a damn?
Yeah,
it wasn't
right.
in there always. They added it later.
Yes.
Big G or little G?
Yeah.
That's the little G, man. Though you got to accept it.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that guy who was going around telling everybody to accept G? Just accept the little G. he came on here too.
Timmy Bob.
There's only one GI except, and that's God.
That was Timmy Bob. That was Timmy Bob. Liam, guy that didn't know his fucking name or where he was from.
He wasn't going to tell you neither.
He was a triggered little fool, wasn't he?
Because dense objects go down, less dense objects go up.
No,
Where's
sir.
the gravity
No,
with the
sir.
helium?
There's absolutely nothing in the realm of science. There's nothing in the realm of physics that say dense objects go down. When
They totally skipped over Archimedes' principle. They totally skipped over Archimedes' principle, not theory. Principle. There's a big difference.
I'm just saying.
Principles in physics do exist.
I've never seen an obese person dunk. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's hard for them to go up. That's all I'm saying. It's hard for them to go up. Yeah, this does because they're dense.
Oh man, that's bullshit. What he just said. That's a lie.
He's hand waving it now.
According to my
Gravity.
side.
when you're talking about buoyancy, which is essentially what you're doing.
And now you just contradicted your own claim. You just told us that there is no principle that explains it. Now you're saying buoyancy. Literally a contradiction in terms, in the same breath.
Well, I haven't heard from Velma in a while. She ain't said nothing.
Yeah, she just looks very confused.
Yeah, usually later she gets worse when we're on QE. She just like, I agree with this guy over here next to me. You're right. You're right. This is. She's
and
ass
whether or
kiss.
not something denser will float or whatever, that's fluid dynamics, and it would suggest that things would float up because they're floating towards the least dense. So your model is absolutely flawed because you don't understand either what the science says about density or buoyancy.
You know what, guys? Maybe if he's live again, I should actually tell him. I'm actually just here to quickly correct you on how buoyancy works.
Is he going right now? You can give him a call.
The problem is, we saw last night, he doesn't actually let me talk. He just mutes me so his audience doesn't hear what I say.
Wait a minute, Flats. Was he yelling? Was that him yelling and cussing at you like that? Was that him?
That was him.
Get the hell out of here.
He treats his guests like that. That's bad.
I went to go actually look to see on his stream afterwards what, if they could hear anything I said. 90% of my words were not said.
Oh, wow.
Literally, he mutes me when I say yes. Then he mutes me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Talk about Nathan's mute button.
He didn't hear a word I said on that whole. He muted me the whole time.
Well, he already had the answers for the questions you didn't ask yet.
Yeah, so it's great that we actually did this live, that we got recorded with my side of the argument. So I am able to make a video and say, this is what I actually said, and this is what you guys heard.
Yes. Well, I like that. Yes.
It's like going to court, ain't it?
Yeah, and Aaron Ra, his biggest claim was there's no such thing as creation.
Yep.
And then when I called him out on it, I'm not allowed to call him out on it.
Weird.
Weird.
Oh,
Hey,
look at
Leafy.
that.
I don't know why that guy calls himself Aaron Ra. Is he an Egyptian god?
He's very evil.
He's a role player that never grew up out of the Dungeons and Dragons shit. He thinks that shit is real and he's going to be part of it. He thinks he's part of this dark kingdom or something. Just look at him. He's a moron.
I'm the dungeon master.
Yeah.
You guys just talk amongst yourself. I just have to say night to the kids and stuff quickly.
Okay.
Tell him good night for us.
Tuck him in tight.
Tell him a nice German bedtime story. Like, that Bunce was a little boy who would not stop sucking his thumb. So his mother chopped off his thumbs.
Oh, I know. Oh, my God.
Go to bed now.
The German version of Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah, right. The lesson is you do not go eat people's houses, you Schweinhund.
That's probably what they're making people so evil. It's just torture as a kid. They just hear stories like that. They grow up to hate the world.
A lot of truth in their shit, though. Witches eating children, luring them in with candy so they can.
Like Baba Yaga. Like Baba Yaga.
Have you heard the Pinocchio one? They actually carved him out of a living tree. The torture of it. Yeah, like he felt everything.
That whole story's a freaking PDF story.
Oh yeah,
it really is. If you think about it. Even look at the guy's name. What's the guy?
Geppetto.
Geppetto. Yeah.
That almost sounds like something else.
Stromboli. You look at Stromboli and that group that was stealing the kids, and taking them off the Pleasure Island. Right?
Yeah.
Boy.
Think about that shit, man. That's dark.
We actually have an Italian restaurant up in Flagstaff named Stromboli's. It's funny to think about it. Yeah, it went out of business.
Some evil stuff, and then the little cricket. Greta wants him to eat that Jiminy Cricket. He wants him to eat that.
All right, so
where's my bowl? I don't have my bowl.
How many of you folks watched the Witsit thing last night, which I had to turn off within like 10 minutes because I couldn't take it?
What?
We were busy over on PJ's reviewing a video.
I don't understand the whole thing. Witsit did a pro-Trump. He was pro-Trump against I forget his name, Destiny, and he was supposed to be for Harris. And Witsit supposedly doesn't, vote or anything or believe in all this, but he's defending Trump, and it was very suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
These people are not truthers if they still think this shit is in their hands or it makes a fuck's worth of difference. The thing they don't understand is that this little show that you're watching, that they make you feel like you're part of, has already been scripted out. It's going to happen the way that it was planned to happen anyways. So just having these people argue, and I'm thinking to myself, come on, Whitsitt, why are you even arguing about this clown show bullshit? Do you think it's actually going to fucking matter? Whose ass polishes the seat at
He claims he
1600
doesn't
Pennsylvania?
vote and he's not on either side, but then he even entertained saying, well, I just want to go ahead because I'm a good debater. I just want to go ahead and debate this other side because I feel like I could debate it better than most other people. But that's the stupidest logic in my opinion. I think we should go over that because it's...
Let's debate Narnia. Why don't we? It's, and other shit that doesn't fucking matter.
Just because, I mean, that's what politicians do. They just debate just because they get paid for it. So now you look like a show. And that's the stupidest thing, in my opinion. Why would you ever do that? Seriously.
Yeah. I've been wanting to say this for a while. How can you count the votes when criminals count the votes?
Right.
In other words, yeah.
We all know who's in
You're
office.
welcome. Oh, yeah.
Everything's going according to what is scripted in scriptures, essentially, because everything's falling into place as we see it. Like Revelations is unfolding right now, like everyone, a lot of we need to be ready for Jesus coming. We do. And I think there's so many people that don't realize this, and they are going to be sorely mistaken for a lot of this.
They're going to hate it? Is that what you're saying? They won't like what they see.
I really like.
That's an understatement.
I don't like thinking about that, man, because I still want to have like a wife and kids, man. I don't want Revelation to come when I'm still this age.
Unfortunately, Nate, you don't have a choice in that matter.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
Right? Because who's in charge, right?
So you all understand what the first plague of Revelation is, right? Or no? Everybody know?
I'm trying to. The first plague in Revelations.
Correct. It's boils. It's boils that won't be healed. So you can think of radiation poisoning or something to that effect, or the 5G in connection to whatever the hell they just put in their bodies and they activate it.
You mean as a little shot?
Yeah. So that's all I'm waiting for. Once you realize that people are getting boils all over their bodies and
they're realizing it.
Okay, I guess we're at the end.
They are realizing it. They are realizing
it right now. Has anyone seen my Investigating Babylon series?
No.
The what, sir?
Has anyone seen my Investigating Babylon series?
Yep. Yeah, I've watched it.
I have not.
I got to take a look at it.
What are you guys' thoughts on the conclusion?
Well, I don't know. I think you have a lot of points that are very valid. But like we still, a lot of things are somewhat speculation, right? There's things that you really aren't going to know until the end, really, right?
Well, more specifically, the big claim that I make at the very end, at part 21 of the series, is that Satan is a real person, and he actually has a real location where he puts his feet up, so to speak. And I try to, through lots of historical accounts, through observation in the modern day, as well as through scientific experimentation, show the plausibility of that location, where he's has a literal location. You remember in Job when God asked Satan, "Where you been?" He said, "I've been up in the earth, going to and fro in the earth."
Yeah.
We're told in 1 Peter that Satan's like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. We're told that Satan has deceived the kingdoms of the earth. Satan offers Christ the ability to have the kingdoms of the earth because he has control over them currently. So do we think that if we believe Satan's a real person that interacted with the real Christ when he was in the flesh, do we believe that Satan is doing all of what he's doing from heaven, from above the firmament, or from the earth?
I would say the earth.
Yeah.
So then where is he?
Yeah,
He's here somewhere.
I heard your synopsis on Witsit, so I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and obviously, how you alluded to all the different stories and Star Wars and all the different, the star itself, the Death Star. So yeah, I can see the connection.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting that if the ancient accounts are true, and the Eye of Ra is actually his home, and it's shaped in a spherical manner, it's very interesting that the entire globe model could be possibly based off of that concept.
Yep.
So he's the god of this world.
And that's why none of the math works.
That's why it adds up to 666.
That's right. Yeah. So it's just an interesting concept. I don't know if anyone had seen the series or not.
I'll check it out. Sounds interesting.
Who would be the moon and sun god at that point?
The fuck is
What is that? Ringing. Somebody's
Roger
phone.
PJ?
That's not me.
Roger.
I don't know who it is.
Someone's phone.
It's not me.
It's not. Wow,
No,
that's annoying.
I even muted and it still did it. Who is that?
No idea.
Kick, is that you?
It's PJ.
PJ.
I muted PJ.
Okay.
It's because Vicky's got to call me on the phone. And like,
No, it's still good.
Okay. Okay, I muted him again. Okay, let me realize. But yeah, that's interesting, Sean. Definitely.
What?
Hey, put a link in there in the chat and I'll look at it.
Sean, you should put another logo because every time I see KIC, I'm thinking Kentucky Fried Chicken, but it's like KFC, and I'm like, who is this guy? KFC. Oh, that's Sean.
His finger looking good.
You guys ready to go on?
Yeah.
Yeah, listen.
Or fluid dynamics, and you're doing all of that in order to dismiss gravity with your flawed understanding of Occam's razor. You have it absolutely wrong. You are engaged in what I would call fractal wrongness. You are wrong at every conceivable resolution.
That is false. Occam's razor is just the least amount of assumption to explain something.
Even
It's
by
easiest
Occam's
logical.
razor, everything, not even gravity. We don't have to take into consideration gravity. By Occam's razor, the Earth, we would consider it flat, right? It's observably flat. We see it flat. By Occam's razor, we would have what we believe.
Yeah. You don't need to say if gravity is real or not based on Occam's razor. But we can use Occam's razor and say, okay, what do we observe? You know what I mean? If they're making a claim with gravity, fine, go ahead. It's in your ballpark. Show us a gravity scale.
Because I didn't understand why he used that for gravity when that's kind of more so the observational of what everything we do in life, right? You don't feel the spin, you don't see the curve, you don't you see the sun moving around you, right? So
So my question is, what is fractal wrongness? That's what I want to know.
He's trying to sound smart.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're just making the crap up. All right.
Yeah.
In simple terms, he just means endless wrongness.
Oh,
Yeah.
forever? Yeah.
And it's all based upon his incredulity about the subject.
So
Can
my
you
thing
explain
is,
to me then why gravity doesn't operate on a helium balloon, but it operates on, say, a table?
Gravity absolutely
Yeah,
operates.
that I have to say, Jason, the caller. Yeah, according to their rhetoric, gravity is the cause for buoyancy. So that's just wrong. You understand?
Gravity pushes the helium up.
Oh, it
Yeah,
pulls it
doesn't
down.
like it. It's like
They
It
say
drags it
gravity
down and
is-
pushes it away.
It's reverse gravity for helium and hydrogen. That's what it is.
Oh,
Backwards gravity. Like kind of like starfish. What's his name? The starfish from SpongeBob. Remember
You
Wumbo?
see, guys, they claiming that gravity
No,
is the
can you
thing that
tell
gives the
I'm
force
sorry,
for the displacement.
and looking down the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times when you bring up density and buoyancy, they'll just say that those are properties of gravity, right? That those are caused from gravity. So, then you have to get into the argument of, well, is that true? Which this guy isn't really doing. He's just kind of playing into their little hands.
Yeah, this is why when I talk
grimy
about
hands.
relative density to equilibrium, they always want to push in specific gravity.
Yeah.
And I have to keep telling them, okay, it's not specific gravity because your relative density, aka specific gravity, means there is no force attributed because you're saying relative density has no force. So when we talk about relative density to equilibrium, it has nothing to do with specific gravity. It's only got to do with the displacement.
They use the English language. They try to use the English language to their advantage and trick everybody. It's been sad.
It's on a helium
It's
balloon,
semantic.
just like everything else. The gravity is the interaction between events relative to both the distance between them and proportional to their mass. When you see a helium balloon rise, it's not because it has defied gravity, but because the helium, its buoyancy, carries it into the upper atmosphere. It is still there is still the force of gravity acting on it, directing it.
Gravity's not a force, first of all. But you see what I'm trying to say? Because he's saying what's happening is the force of gravity is pushing the medium more than it is the helium balloon, and therefore it's displacing it and it's forcing that helium balloon up.
Yeah, the buoyancy of the helium is.
I'm confused. Is it push or pull? Because the moon supposedly is going around the Earth and it's pushing it forward and then it's pulling it back and slowing down as the moon continues to go around it, because the moon's going to have to accelerate, slow down, accelerate, slow down in a circle. I mean,
Debate did a great video on that.
It'd be like trying to drive circles around a race car while on a motorcycle. Take a motorcycle and drive circles around a race car while it's going around a track, and maintain that circle. Maintain that. You're gonna.
You got to think.
You can't do it. It can't be done.
You got to think about it. Think about the orbit of the moon and this path between the sun and the Earth. It would have to speed up to get away from the pull of the gravity of the sun, and then slow down. But we don't see any of the speed change in the moon's orbit personally. It's not observable.
Nope.
This is a great freeze frame, by the way, Flatoid.
This could make a meme.
Yeah, it would. Like, down, man, down. And she's like, really? She's holding that head up. Oh yeah.
Towards the largest mass around, which is Earth. In the same way that we can launch a spacecraft out of there, we can provide sufficient acceleration such that we can escape gravity's pull on that object that holds it to the Earth. This is all like kindergarten and first grade science stuff. Maybe a little bit more than that, but
you're comparing
and
a
I'm not
space
even a
shuttle to a
scientist.
balloon with no jet propulsion.
What was that?
I said it sounds like you're comparing a space shuttle and a lot of gas to a balloon with helium in it that has no kind of jet propulsion pushing it against.
I compared to.
Okay, yeah, I think this Jason guy is missing the plot here completely.
He seems like a newer flat earther, yeah.
Yeah. He's kind of falling into Matt's hands with this argument though. Oh, that's cute. What's her name?
Missy. This is Missy. Hi, Missy. She's a stray cat that just showed up one day.
That's amazing.
She found us, you know.
Two things that both can demonstrate that they can overcome the default pull of an object and the Earth towards each other.
Okay. Prove that Earth is pulling things towards the Earth, please.
Thank you, because he said demonstrate. So yeah, prove it.
Shot Roger, thanks for coming, man. You rock.
No problem, guys. I'll see you guys later. I'll be listening.
See you, Rod.
Later. See you.
But yeah, I mean, the guy's already basing everything on his assumption that gravity is a force and that it actually does exist and that it does what they claim it to do.
Yeah.
Yet they haven't provided us any evidence that it does that.
Yeah.
That gravity is even a thing.
But I wonder when in this conversation does he start to bring up things like the core of the Earth, if he ever does.
Huh. That's really interesting.
You can either do that by filling the object with a gas that causes it to be buoyant, or you can do it by propelling an object with a gas that gives it enough speed to break past
Acceleration
gravity pull.
displacement.
It's not the same thing at all.
You're saying it has nothing to do with the fact that the helium is less dense than the oxygen around it?
Jason, I literally just explained to you that the helium is providing that buoyancy because it's less dense, and there are other ways to overcome the pull of gravity as well by using a fuel source.
Jason, why is gravity consistent? Why?
Oh boy.
There we go.
Yeah.
I called it.
Oh.
Gravity's consistent. Sorry, where's gravity consistent?
Prove it. That's another claim.
Dave, do you want to give your breakdown again? Yeah, in a vacuum. But then that's when you're getting rid of the medium. Stuff does not fall the same inside of water. Clearly, a feather and a bowling ball do not fall at the same rate. One falls lightly, like a paper bag falls lightly down. An apple falls straight down. Yeah. Anyways, that's because of its mass relative. Because that's why you have paper that will fall down slowly, and then if you crumple it up, it will fall down faster. So, yeah, this is like the biggest lie in gravity, that everything falls at the same rate. Of course it doesn't.
Okay, that's it.
Why is the pull of gravity a consistent measurement regardless of what's being dropped, regardless of where it's being dropped on the surface of planet Earth, excluding extremely high heights?
Why are you saying planet Earth? Why are you already affirming the consequent, making the question, affirming the consequent? Why don't you take it from an unbiased position and say, why is it possible that we are just able to use equations to say what we observe, we can observe measurable acceleration. That's it. You're just observing measurable acceleration. Mm-hmm. You claiming gravity is that cause is not affirmation because you are able to observe acceleration.
That's just looking at something and making up a story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I mean,
well, the math works.
I mean, no one's denying that things accelerate. Okay, no one denies that. It's observed. The thing that's the issue is you claiming the cause for it without having any substance to prove. You don't have proof for your claim. We, on the other hand, do have proof for the claim. It's simply displacement because it's demonstrated over and over again.
Yep.
Why does a feather and a bowling ball? Why does a feather and a bowling ball?
He's making his own feather and bowling ball. Is probably going to go to a vacuum chamber now.
In a vacuum.
He's going to destroy his own argument.
Mm-hmm.
In a vacuum chamber, that's only when it's
Feather in a vacuum and a bowling ball fall at 9.8 meters per second squared near near the Earth.
Because you took the medium away.
Exactly.
So therefore, there's no.
You reduce the medium anyway.
There you go. Reduce the medium. You didn't remove it.
So this is interesting because now, what if we started saying in a low pressure environment? How would that change things, or would it change how the discussion takes place?
Well, let's put it this way, Iron. Remember when Action Lab took that figurine and they stuck it in on a scale in a vacuum chamber?
I didn't see that.
When
No.
there was air in there,
Mm-hmm.
high pressure, atmospheric, absolute 14.7 psi, that figurine was lighter than when they took the air out.
Really?
When they took it out, the figurine became heavier. Now, there's two problems here.
Mm-hmm.
Is that figurine still the same amount of mass when it is vacuumed out or not?
Should be, yeah.
So it's supposed to have the exact same weight, correct?
Yeah.
Maybe accidentally suck some gravity out of there.
Second issue is they claim that
They suck
gravity
something.
pulls gas from the air. Now, why is it that when the air is in there, it's lighter, not heavier? Because the gas is supposed to be pushing down on the figurine.
Mm-hmm.
But there we go. Look when he vacuums it out. It's getting heavier. Not lighter, heavier. And notice the independent variable changed here. The medium.
Medium.
You know why it's getting heavier, guys?
Now wait. Now is that bottle is open, right? It's not like it's
Yeah,
closed.
it's open.
Okay.
You know why it's getting heavier, guys? Because of displacement.
There's no gas.
There's
no gas.
There's less medium to displace.
Right.
So there's less support from the medium.
Yep. Damn, that motherfucker.
Did the
There
same
you go.
thing with this little action figure.
So I was thinking of this final experiment. Why don't we put the Globers into one of these vacuums with their favorite agencies, NASA or SpaceX, and we put them in one of these vacuums and see if it actually works. And it'll be their final experiment. What do you think?
Yeah,
It'll be terrifying because no flat earther will get in there with one of those spacesuits and say, "Oh yeah, the spacesuit's gonna save me, guys." Okay. No.
So there is, there it is. Not measuring the weight of the vacuum chamber itself, Sean.
Exactly.
How about let's listen to the girl that has all the fake skulls behind her.
I like the picture.
That's her religion.
That's hot.
Why does it? Are they equally buoyant? Are they equally massive? They're not. Your model is flawed, and this is no, Jason. This is embarrassingly bad.
Actually, if I do see them live again, I'm going to call in. I'm going to
Especially now that we just showed that you're wrong. It's embarrassingly bad. Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is the basics of science that you are. I can't even take you seriously, and I apologize for that because I'm not just sitting here. It's not my goal to go, oh, here's another prank caller, here's another troll. But when you don't know the basics of buoyancy and you're using that to deny gravity, when you don't know the basics of science and you're using that to deny gravity in order to hold up a notion of a flat Earth, you are beyond preposterous. And I don't know how to continue from here.
So what if you don't know the basics of a vacuum? Oh.
Yeah.
You're beyond preposterous, my good sir.
You know what? Yeah, you know what's preposterous about his argument is he doesn't understand the independent variable was not gravity.
Yep. Yep. And they're making all these claims and assertions. Just prove them. Prove one.
This is exactly like the Eratosthenes. I can't say the word right, but the experiment where it's essentially. Yeah, Eratosthenes, yeah. Where he just assumed it, and this is all they have to do. They have to assume, and they have to take it by the word of the scientists because they can't prove it themselves.
Exactly.
And when anyone goes against it, oh no, that's preposterous because they still take into consideration gravity because they feel as if it's they cling to it so hard. It's like I don't know, maybe they have some kind of trauma.
It's someone on a drug.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's their I think we said this before. It's their copium to get away from not being held responsible because the universe is so vast, and
Yep.
there
There's
must
no
be
way.
other things. There's no way that we're special and that there's a God.
Yeah. No way.
Everyone who's liking this stream, hit those likes.
Yeah. I love how
How
he
is it if
says,
the Earth
and
is curved
because
that we can see
yeah,
directly across?
Sorry, what's that?
and I love how he says, and because you're a flat earther, I can't take you seriously. And I'm like, really? Like, take a second, listen to his questions, and prove what it is you're trying to say. Just prove it. That's it. Just
There's a
one of
word
them.
for that, though. It's called bigotry.
Mm.
Because your beliefs are different than mine, I'm not going to take you seriously.
Oh.
I think you're a joke.
Yep.
Yet he will debate people that go against his views all the time for years.
Yeah. Not much of a debate, though, because all he ever does is, nah, I don't believe what you're saying, so therefore the evidence is, to me, not correct, so therefore I don't have to agree with you, so therefore you're wrong.
And screaming and F-bombs.
Yeah, and muting people so they don't hear people's arguments. How do you know this guy wasn't saying other stuff as well?
Exactly.
I couldn't believe that was him on the phone. I'm like, wow, that was him doing that. All that craziness.
It was crazy. He was, but what did I say before that? If I do go, he's probably going to end up pulling his hair out, getting triggered. That's exactly what happened.
Man. Wow.
I mean, I was watching it. You know how it started, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Calling me out stupid, saying I don't respect people's pronouns. Because I said I don't care about pronouns, so he had to talk about God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he had to turn it into that. That's right.
Just
Because I took it as a joke, and I just said, yeah, I'm old school,
I'm old
still
school.
a male. That's just my pronoun.
What the fuck do you mean, what are my pronouns? Who asks that? Who asks that?
That's what
Who
he
the hell
asked.
asks that? I've never asked anybody in the world ever, what's your pronoun? I look at you, you're a guy, you're a
Did
him.
your mother ask you what your pronoun was when you were a kid and said, "Little Jason, get over here, you, him, her, it thing"?
Give it.
I mean,
Hey, you're making
What
jokes
shall I
about it
call
now.
you?
You're making jokes about it now. Give it some time, man. These hospitals they're going to start to remove that shit, and they're going to be like, "Hey, a human being was born to a couple of human beings." They're going to try and remove gender. Just give it some time.
You get over here, young them.
Yeah, all right.
Get
And
that
then
over
every
here.
country will have the required age. Each country will have the required age that you have to tell your child. Oh, well, what do you identify as?
Well, that's only if you actually participate in their bullshit, okay?
Of course.
Governo mentis, control of the mind, okay? So what state are you in? You're in a state of mental delusion, thinking other people have a higher claim over your life and property than you do. And so you agree with it. I'm not talking you specifically, I'm talking about everybody, okay?
Yes.
And this is the only place that they derive their power, okay? Ultimately and fundamentally, government is force. Government is violence.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say on the dollar bill? Norvos Ordo or whatever? I forgot what it was.
Novo
Something
Ordo Seclorum.
Seclorum.
Order out of chaos.
Order of the ages. New order. You got
Hot water, which is all.
and what's that? Annuit coeptus means he favors our endeavors.
God does.
Well, God is a title, not a name.
Erika.
What God are we talking about?
Little G, remember?
That's their little G God.
Yeah,
See, that's what
little
I'm saying. God is a title. It's not a name. Okay, so
Gravitas is real, but the little G is not. Yes.
there you go.
So say thank you, Roger Little, for your $2 super chat. Says, how does one own a pronoun? I have no idea.
No.
I think it's idiotic. But thank you very much for the super chat, Roger. Really appreciate it, man. You rock. I bought one once. Okay. But yeah, it was simple, guys. They asked me what the pronoun. I said I don't care what the pronoun is. I don't have one. So I just made a joke and said, yeah, I'm old school. I'm a male.
Yep.
So the first thing he started on with was insulting me and telling me I'm idiotic and stupid. I don't even understand what pronouns are.
Yeah. And so right there, he was setting the precedence. He was just like, yeah.
It's like, dude, I was just joking because I don't care about
Poisoning the
pronouns.
well is what it's called, yeah. Right?
There we go.
If I'm supposed to be going on there to debate about God's existence, what has a pronoun got to do with it?
I know. These people are really caught up in that nonsense too. They really are. It's created antithesis of reality. And this is exactly, it's a Luciferian inversion of reality is what they're trying to push, and they have been trying to push. Everything is the opposite of what it really is. Okay?
I'll tell you what, it's a pretty...
Healthcare destroys health. Education system destroys knowledge. You can go on and on and on and on and on. The world is a little tiny speck of a ball whirling around a big, huge sun. No, it's the exact opposite of that dumb shit. Everything is the antithesis of reality, and this is what they want you to believe. William Casey said, our plan will be complete when everything the American public knows is a lie.
The CIA director, and also think of all the wars. The war on drugs created more drugs, and this latest one was known as the war on the unseen, or what was it? The unseen, or I'll have to find the clip. I'll find it real quick and play it. But they called the unseen element or something like that.
The war on terror was amazing because you got to see what real terrorism. Yeah,
that movie Nefarious, man. That part where he my God, man, that is a great movie.
It's a great movie. Yeah,
Nefarious.
It's actually
yeah, you got to watch it. It's really good, man.
No, I really enjoyed it.
Always flat. How can we see length? How can we see buildings at distances that should be hundreds or even thousands of feet below the curve of the Earth? How is that possible?
So first of all, Jason, the Earth is huge, so that's why over short, like very small water bodies that happens, but over large water bodies, and you can see this yourself with offshore wind turbines, right? Like on like wind farms and things like that. What you're talking about does happen. The height of the wind fan actually does disappear below the curve.
It's called foreshortening, my dear. And no, that's not due to Earth curve. It's due to many optical phenomena that causes this.
Yep.
Yeah, Joe, exactly. John D did a wind farm at a Black Swan.
John D.
Yeah.
Channel. Okay.
Also, I really got annoyed. It just keeps on like interrupting like halfway through a sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah. If she speaks very energetically and with a lot of confidence, she must be right.
Yep.
But that's what they do, though. But to be fair, Matt and Erika are not people that do debate flat earther.
No.
So
she's an evolutionist. She's an evolutionist.
So they kind of not in the element here, you understand?
Yeah.
Ready?
And first responders who are waging this battle on the ground. It is absolutely critical that Americans continue to follow the federal government's guidelines so important about social distancing, non-essential travel, and hand washing. Defeating this unseen enemy requires the help and commitment of every single American. I want to just say that Senator Rand Paul, a friend of mine, he's been a great friend of mine. He's been always there when we needed him, when the country needed him. And as you know, he just tested positive. Jose Diaz-Balart, spoke to him yesterday, tested positive. And so people are getting quite close to him. And it's a terrible thing that's going on. The hidden enemy, I call it the hidden enemy. And
the hidden enemy.
They continued on this, and there were other people that called it the invisible enemy. The war on the invisible enemy. And they continued on this for weeks. So when you have, your war on war on drugs, the war on poverty, which created more poverty, the war on the invisible enemy. I mean, that's God himself. It's crazy. It's insanity. I'm sure there's a shorter version of it, but I can find others. But I'll let you go on.
But yeah, no, that makes exactly sense what you're saying. Definitely an invisible war because it's spiritual, guys.
We do not battle against flesh, but the principalities of.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the entire. The principalities of darkness. Yeah.
Damn Satan.
Oh, one more.
Shaitan.
I thought I was showing it. I wasn't. Okay, let's try it again.
There it is. There it is.
Curve. You can see this for yourself.
I would recommend you go over to my. I would recommend you stop talking. I would recommend you go watch my friend Simon Dan's channel where he explains.
Sci-fi man Dan.
There we go.
That explains
He got
everything.
the answers.
Oh my! The last person you should be appealing to as authority on this is Simon Scam.
Oh yeah.
Scam man Dan. Wow.
Yeah.
Really, Simon Dan is your appeal to authority, Mr. Matt. No wonder why you are the way you are. Dude.
I do that.
Explains this stuff over and over and over again every time some scientifically illiterate flat earther demonstrates.
Dude, Simon Dan, who you're talking about, doesn't even know what an independent variable is.
Nope.
He doesn't know what observation means. He doesn't understand that when he argues for why we can see it, it means not globe.
Yeah, most of his stuff is actual just straw man of our arguments.
It's idiotic.
It's the stuff that your friends send you after you start talking to them about flat Earth.
Yeah. It's like one of Simon Dan's latest videos. He's like, oh, I'm going to debunk this guy. He's like looking and it's like, oh, guess what? We see it because it's too close. So what is the argument actually, Simon Dan? Oh, we see what we see, so no curve then.
Got one more for you.
At this moment, there are 151 countries throughout the world that are under attack by this horrible, invisible enemy. 151 countries. And we're in touch with a lot of them. Our professionals are the best in the world. But who would ever think 151 countries are under attack? We are one family bound together by love and loyalty. The eternal traits so perfectly embodied by the
You hear the way he talks with the eternal and all of this.
Who's being attacked by who?
It's an invisible enemy. I mean, exactly. And why, again, I'm going to point out with the whole Witsit thing, why would you defend this? And why, even if you claim that you're, okay, well, he was only doing it because he's a better debater and all this kind of stuff, and he thinks he would be better for America. Why? Why would you ever even defend a lie?
That's also just giving the people that actually like Trump, supposedly if he doesn't like Trump, better arguments according to him. So it's a lose-lose either way.
I just think Witsit should be staying out of politics, to be honest.
Yeah. And I tell you what, with this with this final experiment coming up, that right there helps him lose credibility. And I don't think he understands this.
Yeah.
Things like this just show that you shouldn't even be involving yourself with these things, and yet you are, and you're just making yourself look bad. We just showed how this guy faked his whole ear. We showed how this dude faked his whole ear getting blown off, and now you want to back him up? He's a liar just like everybody else, and you want to...
I know. Why is nobody going, how the fuck did your ear heal up, dude?
Yeah.
No, they just go on and on. It's like, it's this team thing. It's this tribal shit thing. Boy, if it'd been on the other side, they'd be all over it, right?
Yeah.
And this is the whole thing. It's like two football teams. These people are fanatics for it. And you find out that the other team, well, their quarterback, he's been raping the freaking cheerleaders and shit. He's a terrible guy. Get rid of him. And then you find out when your quarterback is accused of the same thing, it's like, oh no, he's pure as the driven snow. There's no way he could possibly. This isn't true.
Yep.
They do the same damn thing with this. I've never seen people devolve to a state and act so childish as they do when they're trying to substantiate or validate a weak belief system like politics or a globe. When these people get into the politics thing, they act like little fucking children. It's funny. Watch that guy. I call him the 40-year-old frat boy, Benny Johnson.
Oh.
It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Great. You remember when the flat earthers put together, they were going to go out and try and measure whether or not there was a curve, and there.
When you cite a mockumentary, which literally even Jaron says himself was taken out of context.
Yes.
Wait, do you say behind the curve?
Yeah.
Yes. They do the curve all the time, and it's not there. So,
but you understand?
Specify.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, anybody that tries to cite beyond the curve as a site for measuring Earth curve, I call dishonest.
Yep.
Because they do know it's a mockumentary. They know that they were taken out of context. They were trying to show to be something that was not. Even Jaron said they took it out of context. Okay.
But then,
so when you bring it up, you're dishonest.
Yes.
Right.
But then you start to show them everything outside of that. You start to show them actual measurements from that point on, and then they're like, "Well, no, because beyond the curve." And it's oh my God, like, dude, like,
I got
now
confused when people sent me that little laser thing. I was like, "What are these measurements? Why is this? This isn't showing the 8 inches per mile squared parabolic. This isn't showing anything of what we use. What is this?"
Yeah. So if you also if you look online, FE Core used to appear every time in the YouTube search engine. Guess what? Not anymore. Can't find FE Core in there no more. You will not find FE Core if you type them in the search block.
Oh my God.
That's sad. I mean, this is the best he's got. A mockumentary that misrepresents people. You know what happens when you misrepresent people like that, Matt? It's called lying.
Yep.
And when you're using that, it means you're lying with them.
Yep.
They're getting ready to do it again too.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Jeez, man.
They're measuring.
Yeah, there's going to be a mockumentary with something. Watch.
Yeah, I can't believe that this guy's going to spend that kind of money and there ain't nothing in it for him. Yeah. Nothing at all. Get out of here.
Yep.
Yeah, it's insane.
Is especially for an investment expert whose whole job is to put money into something to turn it into more money.
More money. Yes. And you know what, Dave? Remember we were asking him that same question. I was like, dude, you're a money man. There's no way in hell you're doing this out of the kindness of your heart. That language doesn't exist in your money world. Kindness of your own heart? No. It's how you're gonna take this money. Hey, kick his head. Holy smokes, man. Never thought I'd see this person live.
It's good to see you back, man.
All right.
Hey guys,
man.
I'm back. I might just be working a little bit, but I'll try to contribute a little bit.
No, it's just because I think you missed last night's stream. I think because we still got time, we can go through the conversation we had on his stream last night. You might find it interesting. It's all about creation and how it proves God. And you'll listen to some of the arguments they made. it's insane.
Okay.
Measurements
The
showed
laser
that there
pointer.
was.
Yeah, the laser pointer and the platforms. Yeah, I know the one you're talking
They're like,
about.
oh,
Yeah, Jason.
it lines up and it comes out exactly what the math shows for this.
First of all, it wasn't a laser pointer, it was a torch. And those boards weren't aligned properly, and he was still trying to work out how they would align it when they showed that footage.
And for
when
your
he
American
did it later
viewers-
on, where they didn't show it, actually worked.
Yeah, and Flats, make sure you let the American viewers know what you mean by a torch, because a lot of us probably think like, big burning thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A laser pointer is concentrated light. Okay, so it's pinpoint. When you look at a torch, it's it's dispersing in all directions. It's going out. Like you get, that's why you see it spread out with the torch. Now
A
it's going to be
flashlight.
very, the
Flashlight.
flashlight is a torch. There we go. So it's going to be very inaccurate when they're trying to hold it, especially if you. Has anybody tried to do target practice with something that's very far away? It's more difficult than something closer.
Yeah.
Now imagine trying to shoot something through a hoop and put 4 hoops in front of each other and they're far away from each other and you got a little pistol. Okay? It's a bit difficult if you can't get it perfectly level. I mean, he was
And
holding it.
nighttime on top of that is a little more difficult on top of that.
Yeah.
Because of the way
So-
that light projects.
Exactly. So it's stupid actually, because he, first of all, the light wasn't level. He was holding it in his hand, so it could be, shown down a bit, shown up, left, right. It doesn't matter. The holes were also, like we said, was he cut it out looking like a dog's breakfast. So it doesn't even
Not
mean
only
those
that,
holes
he's
are lined
supposed-
up like it should.
He supposedly was going to use a laser, but the laser that he had was like a $40,000 laser, and that burnt up beforehand. So they decided to use their best light itself that had the highest lumens, and that's what they were using instead of a laser itself. So
And yeah, that's crazy. I mean, even if those boards that they placed weren't perfectly aligned, okay? Remember, they put them from position to position. If they're not aligned properly in perfect position with those holes actually perfectly, I mean, look, even my hand, if I don't align it properly to the camera, it's not going to show right. And that's exactly the light. The light has to go perfectly through there. There's just too much variables in there to be counted as successful or unsuccessful. It's an invalid demonstration.
I think a better analogy, like you were trying to say, was the laser would be a sniper pinpoint, good to go through, and then the torch or the flashlight would be a shotgun,
Yes.
spreading out. Yes.
Yes.
Because you don't just have to level it too, you have to also work it in the Y direction as well.
Yep.
You might have it dead on level this way, but are you actually on target this way and this way?
Yeah. And people have to remember.
Well, the further you go with that, the worse a deviation becomes.
Yes.
Okay. And that's why, as Flatzoid said, when you're shooting at something closer, it's easier to hit than when it's far away. You get to a point where the angular resolution of the target has become so small that just one little heartbeat movement of your sights off of the center of mass is going to throw it off by a wide margin by the time it gets downrange.
Yep. That's a big deal. And these things we could demonstrate over and over and over again.
Can I give you a biblical example too?
Yeah.
So when you think of the Bible and God, the way He works is He'll allow you to go through basically the wilderness for 40 years. He'll allow you to go in a circle, and if you mess it up the first time, He may give you another chance, but you'll end up exactly at the same point. Jaron's at the same exact point that he was before, to give him another chance to pass this time.
Well,
Do you understand
when
what I mean?
David killed Goliath, did he calculate Coriolis?
All right.
But I'm just saying that not to be deceived again, but yeah.
Yeah, and
he did know he needed 5 stones though.
We might need to fall 7 times and then get back up. Is all.
But even Flat Earth Banjo, like he shows this every weekend, usually on Sundays. He'll be live and he'll just be on his show saying, "Hey man, this is not good, not only for you, but it makes the community look bad. Like you've been through this before. Like talk to somebody." My thing is definitely like, before you take these endeavors on your own shoulders, man, you've got a whole county, you've got a whole bunch of people. It's not you that make the community. It doesn't matter how big your damn channel is. You know what I'm saying? You've got a bunch of wise men and wise people out here in this community that you can talk to. Talk to them first. Old folks, talk to them. You know what I'm saying? You got to use your resources before you start going out on these adventures and just and then ultimately misrepresenting all of us.
Yeah, that's again Moses. I mean, imagine all the people that screwed up, and he had to carry them on his shoulders and redo it again.
Yep.
And he had to spend 40 years out in the wilderness before that just to learn to get to the point he was. So.
Yeah.
They
And
wouldn't
he
have
still
us.
didn't get to go to the promised
He
land.
didn't get to the promised land.
He still didn't get there. Point.
He was like, you see
He
them?
only got
That's
to
where
see
they're
it.
going. You keep your ass right here.
Yeah. You got upset and you hit that rock.
Yeah. And God, it's
You only
crazy
hit the
because
rock once, my friend.
yeah,
That's it.
God mentioned it. He's like, hey, remember that time when you hit that rock? Well, guess where they're going? They're going, you're staying. He's like, man,
So
you
the
bringing up
water flowed.
stuff.
You guys remember when at
His
the end of
reward was still waiting, though. Don't get it twisted, right? As Ironwork says, don't get it twisted.
Yeah,
But
sure.
his reward was still there. It's just that he had to wait for it.
Yeah, Sean.
Have you guys ever heard someone calculate the distance that Moses saw when he went up to Mount Nebo before he died? And it said God showed him the entire land, the land that he wasn't going to get to go into, but he took him up to the top of a mountain to show him the promised land, and he could see all the land.
Was
so
that?
that's
Yeah.
also
Was
not
that?
possible on a flat Earth.
Was that
What
Ben
was-
that
what
did
was
that
the
demonstrate that?
It's
It was
not- excuse
Taboo
me.
Conspiracy 3?
Not possible globe Earth.
Yeah, not possible on Globe Earth. Sorry, I said that backwards.
Was that Taboo Conspiracy 3 that did that demo?
Do you know the distance, though, Sean?
I don't remember the measurements now. But that's just one of many examples of, that it's just the math doesn't
be.
work for the globe. It's not there.
Like New Jerusalem coming down.
But then the rebuttal you're going to hear is the Bible is a man-made
Right.
book. Yeah.
But you can still climb to the top of Mount Nebo today and take the same observation.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Which is actually affirmation of the Bible. It's affirmation because you can make the same observation.
Yes.
All right, boys and girls, let's get the chalkboard out. That's another one.
Now, you guys may have heard me say this before, but I live in Wyoming. And in Wyoming, we have large mountains, 12, 13,000 feet tall, peaks, but we have large flat areas in between the mountain ranges. And from where I live in a valley between two mountain ranges. And if I go up to 9,000 feet, which is like 10 minutes behind my house, and I go up to the peak at 9,000 feet, I can see like 150 miles to another distant mountain range, and I can see the peaks in the distance on a clear day.
Wow.
And it's just with my natural eye, not even with cameras, right? So, and that's what I know as far as the measurements thereof. There's another observation, like as I know where the mountain range is and approximately how far it is from my house. But there's other mountain ranges because you go to an observation point at 10,000 feet at Snowy Range, and you can see into Colorado, into northern Colorado, and into multiple mountain ranges into Wyoming as well. And I mean, it's like easily 200 miles, easily. It's amazing. So none of the math works for the ball.
So it's wild because this lady on the panel with Matt, she said the Earth is huge. You're like, okay, well, there's no numerical value behind that. Give us the numerical value that you guys of the globe give us, right? You give us the 25,000 mile circumference, and then let's work from there.
Yeah,
You know
I'm gonna use that logic when I talk about my muscles. They're just huge. Don't worry about measuring. They're just
huge.
They're just
You
huge.
don't need no numbers.
All you need to know is they're huge.
Exactly.
See, it's all in the way you word things. Okay, so you see this chain link I have right here.
Yeah.
Okay, this was my wife hit this chain link with a 5.56 millimeter AR-15 at 100 yards. It's pretty good, right? I never said she was aiming at it. But when people bring it up, they're like, wow, I say that. I say, yeah, my wife hit this at 100 yards with an AR-15. They're like, holy cow. I don't tell them that she was aiming at a steel target that this was hanging from.
Right. It's like when I was 6 years old. Yeah, when I was 6 and I was shooting my BB gun at my GI Joes in the backyard, and one day I accidentally hit a wasp that flew in front of the bullet's path, and my brother grabbed the wasp with the BB still in its body and went to show my dad because he was so astounded. And then so my dad thought I was a great shot, but I was just shooting at GI Joes.
You see, that's why you need to have context when it comes to something. And that's,
No, but see,
that's
in my
exactly how
6-year-old
people-
brain, I had calculated Coriolis, I'd calculated wind speed. I mean, I calculated the frequency of the wasp itself and its flight path. All that went to my brain in a split second. It was great.
Sure. Sure.
Oh man, that's good. Roger Little, thank you for your $5 super chat. Really appreciate it, man. He says Nathan straight up warned him what was going to happen. Yep.
Russian target practice right there.
It's 7.62 by 39.
Yeah,
You know, I got now my Mini 14 will not shoot that shit. I bought 2 layer for that and in 5.56, and dude, it don't want nothing to do with it. It won't cycle correctly. It's a snob. But I can put that shit in my little AR pistol and fire it all day long, man. No problem. My AKs, they don't give a shit what you put in them. They'll just shoot.
You can throw rocks in there.
So some 9mm are like that too, but like my little EP9, it's a pistol carbine, shoots 9mm, and I can shoot the cheapest goddamn ammo out of that thing all day long.
That's my Ruger. My Ruger doesn't care. It's cheap as hell, but it still shoots every time.
Wow.
Hi, Brian. Good to see you, man. Glad you can make it. But yeah.
Steve Lee.
Okay.
All right, back on topic.
I mean, we've known this since before we understood anything about electricity. Eratosthenes measured the curvature of the Earth by using shadows of sticks.
False. He never measured. He calculated. Do they know
And he calculated his steps with his scribe walking 500 miles, counting his steps. I mean, my God.
I would walk 500 miles.
But do you think they'll ever get the difference between understanding the difference between calculation and measurements?
No, they won't. They're dumb. They just take whatever an authoritative source has told them and they commit it to memory. Doesn't matter if it contradicts itself. They just that's what it is. It is written. It is written by report.
It is.
I was just as dumb though, so I have to say they might. By God's will.
You guys think that some of these guys get like pre-credits in the coming social credit score system for repeating all these lies when they know that they've been debunked over and over and over?
They have a special place in the New World Order, yes.
Yeah.
By the way, have you noticed the skulls in Homegirl's background?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's the first thing we commented on. Because she's making paleontology. She dreams about evolution.
I mean, except for the dark yellow one, notice how most of them are actually plaster because that's mostly what's in museums.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's hilarious to me. And it's also a weird vibe once you learn about the teraphim, which was the skulls that talked in the Bible that they did divination through. And you just wonder how there's this weird obsession with skull culture and so many different, it's in tattoos, it's in lots of death metal. It's
Very
obviously,
demonic.
yeah, it's very interesting how the skulls are like always prominently on display. And of course, it also was the ancient symbol for death itself. I mean, the god of death itself, basically. Yeah. So it's very morbid.
It is. Oh, another super chat. Thank you very much, Godzilla, for your $5 super chat. Really appreciate it. He says, someone said free credits.
Yeah. It's amazing because those people are still they're getting lied to too. They're getting lied to.
Thank you for the free credits, Godzilla. You rock, man.
Yeah, but I mean, think about like the logic you do see from them from time to time. And even if it's just to form their wannabe gotcha questions against God, right? They try to form these slick ethical contrivances to put God in a bad light. That does take some sense of intelligence. And you're like, why can't you use that intelligence towards observable evidence and to the acknowledgement that you may have been lied to? Yes. And to actually investigate whether or not you've been lied to. And that's where it seems the cog disc kicks in, is that they just don't want to admit they've been lied to, I guess.
Yep. Well, the same people that are giving them these skulls in evolution are also the same ones giving them heliocentrism. So it's a big tower of cards that collapses when one gets pulled down.
Yep. And we were there too. It's not like I don't know about you, KIC, but we were there. I know I was there heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
up until 2015.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
so
guys,
I
grew up an atheist, by the way. I didn't believe in God. I went to church twice my entire life up until I met my wife, which is in 2004. So, and she made me go to a Sunday church with her, and I just sat in the back and was like, "Oh, this is fantastic! All I have to do," she said, "if you want to date me, then all you have to do is just go to church with me." And I had two experiences. I had one experience with a friend of mine from high school. Yeah, I see Sovereign over there. I know. This is sitting over in my he's got his bullets up, but that's over in my
It's a composite. It's a composite bullet.
Okay, that's cool.
All right, but I'll go back to it. So, anyways, yeah, my wife said if you want to date me, all you have to do is go to church with me, and I had no idea what it was. I didn't know anything about any of the denominations or anything else, and she went to a non-denominational, i.e., Babylon Church, which I know now. All that means, and so, but she grew up Catholic, and then she went into a Baptist. And when I met her, she was going to non-denominational. And I went in, and I was like, "Oh, this is all you have to do on Sundays? I'm not doing anything on Sundays anyway. I show up at 11 a.m., and they give me donuts and coffee, and they have a great band, and they talk 2 or 3 verses, and the dude tells me 30 minutes of what he did through the week. I can do this. This is like AA or something. Like, this is great. Like, wow, this is okay. If that's all it takes to date you, then okay, I got it. But
if you want to be my lover, you just got to go to church.
Church.
That's a good foundation, but that's a good foundation though to build a relationship on.
Yes.
So,
or yeah, I mean, it's
That's
commitment.
what monogamy was built on.
Commitment is a good basis, but the Bible itself and not understanding it and just saying that you're Christian is not a good basis.
But yeah, I'm sure it was difficult though also because I mean, you weren't on the same wavelength as her when it comes to the Bible and stuff. I mean, the Bible talks about unequally yoked, and
Right.
I've seen it sometimes it doesn't work out because the one is a Christian, the other one's not a Christian. So it's almost like a gamble.
I went in to go and basically tell everybody why the Bible wasn't the Bible and why it was completely untrue and everything else. And then I end up bringing her into the Sabbath, the feast, and so on. So you guys can go where you want with that. But that almost broke up our marriage. And yeah, we can have discussion about that later. But
wow.
Yeah. What's wild, what's crazy is when you claim that you're a Christian until you see the flat earth, and then you kind of look back at what you were doing previous before the whole true earth and flat earth discussions and everything, and you're like, wow, I really wasn't there. I thought I was there, and the amount of clarity that it gives you after you start.
Philly. Philly.
Okay. Are we gonna go on this video?
Yep.
Yeah.
And shadows in wells. We did this before we could turn on a light bulb. The fact that you in 2024 are using a cellular device going through geosynchronous satellites to communicate to us that you don't think gravity is real, that the earth is flat, that there's not a curve. This is embarrassingly bad. If you want to call yourself a skeptic, everyone should point and laugh.
Wow, so that's his argument. No, you dumb, so let's laugh. Okay. Great rebuttal. Notice he hasn't rebutted Jason's argument though. All he did was insult him.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's not a rebuttal. Because he hasn't actually shown his argument true. He hasn't shown gravity to be true. He proclaimed it to be true, but that doesn't make it true.
The distance.
Thanks for the call, though, Jason.
People are able to.
Nope, you're done.
Holy mackerel.
It's over.
I have my limit
You know
for
what,
flat
Matt?
Earth.
Wow.
You know what, Matt? When you got up, so when I brought up the thing
You're
about
rude though. Just say thank you for coming. Until next time. No, you're done. Mutes him and kicks him. That's exactly what they did to me yesterday. They didn't even tell me they kicked me. They just started talking. I'm still talking, and I was already off the line. I was still talking.
Yeah.
That guy was already off kilter because of the fact they can't handle that. They can't handle somebody who walks with God talking to them. They cannot really handle it. When it's somebody that actually has that light, they start losing their shit.
They look
Right
relieved
off
for
the
some
bat.
reason.
And that's what Aaron Ra did. That guy you were talking to, he was just like, he just started losing his shit right off the bat.
Fake
Over
Anton LaVey.
pronouns, for crying out loud. What do you mean? That's part of our whole thing. You have to have pronouns. Fuck you. I'm not playing your game.
I don't need to. Why should I have a pronoun? For what?
Yeah.
What's that got to do with the argument? The argument was we're talking about God. So if I don't want to talk about pronouns, I don't have to.
Yeah.
But he was setting it up. He was setting it up that way, man. I mean, he was muddying the waters or poisoning the well, getting everybody against you, like right off the top.
Yep.
I'd say my pronouns are what belong to the proper grammatical English language. My shoe size is 10. My pant size, what else do you need to know about me? I'm here to have a discussion, okay? None of that other shit is important at all. It's just a way to distract everything off the
Fair
top.
enough, though. It's bait that these guys use to distinguish if you're kind of, if you're kind of still in the, because if you just say he, him, then it's whatever. But if you go on to the, well, I don't agree with pronouns, they obviously see it as a threat. So that's why they're more, I guess, aggressive. So,
Yeah.
Here comes Sean. You ready?
Their dogma is more important
This is
than the,
this is
than
from their stream. So you're gonna see now that you can't really hear me talking.
I hope you give both.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
This is their stream now. Okay? This is from their stream. Yeah.
We got Dumbledore and Black Magic Wizard.
Your kids aren't there, so go ahead, Flats.
Yeah. See if you can actually hear.
I'm going to start identifying as Jesus' truth.
Amen.
There you go. That's what you should have said your pronoun is.
Yeah.
I think I should do that next time I'm on. Because I'm definitely going to go on again, guys.
Just call me Jesus' truth.
Yep.
Can you demonstrate it? Yes, I absolutely fucking can. Tell me something that you.
Oh, and by the way, excuse the language. They're going to swear the whole time. They get really triggered with everything.
You think I believe that I cannot demonstrate? Watch me fucking.
And notice he has to have his head lined up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's why he does that exactly. He thinks he's a Baphomet.
He's trolling just with his background. Why is he dyeing his beard blue though? Come on.
It looks so
Well,
stupid.
that's LGBT.
He's done a lot of weird.
Oh, is that right?
He's trying to have that Anton LaVey look without shaving his whole entire dome.
Well,
I thought he just had a
watch
smoke
what
on.
happens after Flats has the discussion with him. I think he's taking like 4 shots.
Oh yeah, he was drinking nonstop.
He was just like pounding him. He was like, I can't take the truth. I must.
He was hardly getting his eyes open.
I think he's trying to be a Vulcan or what are those things? Klingon.
Star Trek, Klingon.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Klingon.
yeah.
Yeah, he's an atheist. He doesn't even believe in the devil. It's like a weird aesthetic that still makes him look like a teenager.
Oh, he believes.
The sad thing is he thinks he knows more about Christianity than Christians. That's the sad thing about Aaron Ra. Yeah.
The problem here is, and by the way,
One shot.
Said that Kevin called in hot and had to be calmed down. And a lot
This
of
is the guy just before me.
Just to get him.
So I'm sorry to interrupt again, but guys, I just want to say that, like, I've actually been for the last couple of years, I've actually been praying that the Father would, like, work through me, not for the sake of me, but just I haven't seen anyone else attempt this, so why not me? But if I'm ever in a call, or like if there's a moment in a call with someone as satanic as Aaron Ra, like, just Father, just let me actually cast out the demon in live in real time on camera. You know what I'm saying? And see, and just something dramatic apparently has to happen, because reason, logic aren't working with these men. They're just perpetuating the same lies. I didn't know this was going on. I don't know what this is or when this was.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I mean,
Yeah, go ahead. And Flats literally just called in. He saw the number and said, hey, they're live right now.
Yeah.
And he said, let me call in live.
He was
And,
actually about to. That's right. He was actually about to shut down the show for the day.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, look at who's live. Hey, let's give him a call."
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the thing is,
You
I
joined
thought
pretty
I thought we're actually going to start talking about God, and if it got to that, yeah, I could actually, get somewhere. But they didn't give me that opportunity.
So
Literally,
there's
as soon as I started talking, they started insulting me and swearing at me and muting me.
right. So have you guys seen on? Have you guys seen like they call themselves the Demon Slayers, but there's like a group of YouTubers that they claim that they're like professional exorcists, basically. Like they're constantly delivering people of demons, even on Zoom calls and stuff like that.
Wow.
And so, when you start like looking at the actual people responding, and what's happening here, like some of it's highly questionable. You can't really tell if the person that is supposedly being delivered of demons truly had them, or if he's just kind of like being caught up in the moment and going along with it. Because I've been in a lot of church in my life, and I've seen people at the front altar calls of church just going along with it, right? Because they think they're expected to show some sort of results. Otherwise, it's going to make the pastor look bad or something. I've seen people try to like fall down in the spirit, but they're just faking
Well, remember,
it.
they always fall backwards, and always in the Bible, they always fall forward. So that's a
Right. Yeah. So all I'm trying to say real quick is that in my life, I've actually had moments where something that Bible describes as the word of knowledge, right? Where God says something very clear to you, and then you're talking to someone who you don't know their affairs, you don't know their details, they're considered a stranger to you, and you go up to them with information you shouldn't have because God has given you that information for the point of ministering to them in one way or another. And I've done that multiple times, over 24 times in my life. And every time that's happened, it's been like a super clear line of communication in my brain that go talk to this person. Here's the details. And you know what I'm saying? And it's been 100% accurate every single time. Right. So that's called a gift of the Spirit. And that's an amazing thing. I've never had a gift of the Spirit that says, jump in this live stream and cast this demon to this person. But that's what I'm praying for. I'm like, Father, make it super clear as you have in time. And with me or with anybody, I don't want credit for it. Like let any Christian do this, I don't care if it's someone that has a YouTube channel or not, or someone that has a ministry or not. You don't have to have a ministry to do this. This is available to you just because you believe in Christ and He's your high priest in heaven. Like you have
two or more. We're two or more gathered, right?
Yeah. So it's available to all Christians, all believers in genuine faith that this can flow through you. And so I just pray that God does this with one of these gentlemen at some point. That would be the most amazing miracle to catch live on video,
Yeah, that would be awesome. But I think these are, because I do say this a lot, they're definitely demon possessed. There's no doubt about that. And it's definitely the demons talking through them.
Yeah. And you want to know something, Flats? I gotta give you props for remaining calm, because I guess there's like a feeling of sadness that you kind of feel for him. It's like, hey, just listen. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't cuss him out, because I was sitting up there getting upset and I was laughing, but I was like, man, if that was me. But I think the way you held your composure, and you were just trying to demonstrate, not only to them, but also to our audience and to their audience, the amount of discourse that they were avoiding strictly by muting you and everything else. You know what I'm saying? So just off of that alone, like, I got to give you mad props.
Yeah, but like Sean says, we have empathy for them. We understand that we follow what God teaches us to love them as the way He loves us. So we don't look through them as what they're doing. We rather look at it like, yeah, you're lost, and we feel the need to show love towards you, to rather get you to understand God has a calling for you. Because think about it, if these two had to change their hearts, do you know how much influence they'll have on other people that follow them? They have a lot of influence on people.
That's true. This is true.
I just want to say thank you, Retro Ball, for your $5 super chat, man. Really appreciate it. He says, Dillahunty boasted he was once a devout evangelical, and moments later, he erroneously referred to Jesus as the way, the truth, and the light. Priceless. Thank you very much for the super chat, man. You rock. Yeah, he does claim to have been a devout Christian at a stage, and then he just decided one day he's not. Now he doesn't accept any evidence as evidence.
So you guys remember in Matthew 8, Mark 5, the demoniac, the guy that was amongst the tombs. The townspeople tried to lock him up in chains, but he kept breaking out. He's full of demons. He's full of legion. And Christ went to him and healed him. And when Christ went up to him, clearly he was amongst the tombs crying and cutting himself because he was demon possessed. So it takes a toll on your physical health and obviously your mental health. And Christ went up to him and cast the demons out of him. And then it says the guy was now dressed and in his right mind. So it just makes me wonder, in moments like these, it's like, yes, if someone's that I'm very much a self-defense person, right? So if someone's aggressing upon you because they're demon possessed, I'm going to handle that threat first, and then I'm going to pray for them or whatnot. But I'm going to subdue them first by any means, so they don't take my life, and then I'm going to handle that spiritual issue. But
I'll just exercise him right there on the spot with a pistol. I'm not going to fuck around. All right, well, it's time for you to go meet Jesus right now, I guess.
Yeah, that's a different type of spirit leaving their body. But yeah, so basically that my heart does go out to these people, because I'm like, look, if Christ, instead of Christ just saying, yeah, keep that dude chained up out there, he's a nuisance. He was like, all right, let's go see if we can heal this guy's soul and heart. And then, that guy was running around telling people about Christ. And even though after Christ had healed him, he said, please don't go tell anybody who I am. The guy just ignored that and went into the nearest towns and started telling who he was. And so it's very interesting to see this mentality. And I'm just sitting there going, why aren't some of these quote unquote deliverance ministries jumping on atheist live streams and casting demons out, since they claim they have the power? They claim they have the power to do it like anytime on command.
Why
aren't you doing it?
Get Kenneth Copeland out there, man.
Right.
Oh no.
In the same way, why doesn't Benny Hinn just go into a hospital and clear it out?
Oh wow.
But after seeing the debate with Pastor Greg Locke and Pastor Dean Odell, I would be interested to see what Greg Locke would be saying with these guys making the claims that they're making, right? As far as the I guess you could say anti-cosmology, as far as the composition of the earth. And also this guy, fake Anton LaVey and his demonstration. So whose side would he take, if he would take a side? How would he approach this? I find that interesting.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into it quickly. Where's the video? Okay.
Yeah. Well, Kevin, find me on Facebook, right? Find me on Twitter. Hit me up with something I believe that I cannot demonstrate. Watch me demonstrate it.
Why with the middle finger?
Keeps going.
Because he's kind of triggered. Because he claims he can. Now, guys, note, he just made a claim now. His claim was he can demonstrate that creation shows not to be a god. That was his claim. Which is weird, because when I bring up my claim specifically about that now and telling him to back it up, they tell me, no, it's not his burden. After he just made the claim.
From South Africa, pronouns are old school, still a male. I don't recognize those as pronouns at all, Keith, but Keith says the God of the Bible is shown to be true. Can you show that your pronouns are pronouns?
Yeah, they're asking for pronouns. So just like, yeah, I'm just old school, it's male.
But male isn't a pronoun.
Actually, it is. It can be placed as a pronoun, because you can be placed as a cat if you want to, a female cat, a male cat. Doesn't matter. But yeah, the argument here was not pronouns, it's about God. So I don't know why he has an issue with it.
No, I don't care about pronouns. I'm born with God,
but what we're asking is if somebody, you understand, we're just asking people what their preferred pronouns are. And so if you don't have preferred pronouns, you can just say any or no preference. But when you say something like old school, still a male, it shows me that you don't even understand the basics of common decency with regard to asking for pronouns.
You see the issue here? I don't agree with pronouns, guys. So now he's got an issue with me because I don't agree with pronouns.
Yeah.
I'm an anti-pronoun-ite. That's what I am.
Because if someone's pronoun is what garlic rainbow kitties or whatever, okay, does that make them a garlic rainbow kitty? No, it doesn't. Pronouns are just arbitrary. It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It's a joke.
Pronouns are quite literally labels that people have just been slapping on. Before, it was in some sense used to determine people that were mentally ill and thought that they were some kind of other, with multiple others he's or what was it? It was they and them's, right? Correct. And then it kind of just branched down to becoming a label where you have it also reflects your age, and some pronouns reflect some reflect different species, right? So it's
Nate, Nate, that's not, you just had me think about something with this pronoun craziness and you referring to yourself other than what you truly are. I wonder if this is just like fertilizing the soils of demon possession, of you saying, hey, I'm an elephant, or I'm a dinosaur, or I'm this. You're something other than what you truly are. So is this just making it possible for you to for these things to enter into your body because you're giving them some kind of permission? Because now you're claiming something that you're not.
You see, the thing the thing I don't agree with pronouns, the reason why I actually don't like it so much, because it goes against how God created you in His identity. So God created us in His identity. They are going specifically against it, okay? So they rebelling against God's given identity to us. So that's why I'm so against it, because it is rebellion at the end of the day. That's all it is. Just to say, Rentrable, thank you for your $5 super chat. He says, if agenda is one of the 72 genders, then atheism is one of the 4,200 religions. Wow. Yeah, I would agree. And yes, atheism is definitely a religion, guys. Don't let them tell you otherwise, because it is a belief.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reason I chose old school still a male, guys, is specifically to attack people's changing identity. I am old school, and I am a male, and I will always be a male because that's what I was born as.
I do agree with Ironworks a little bit as far as prepping the mind for possession. Because we see that in a lot of movies, is that there's always this entity that wants to cohabitate, and it's never a benevolent. It's always an evil entity that wants to cohabitate with someone and get them to accept them and work with them. And now it's in a technological sense, now it's being portrayed in lots of movies as AI, working with AI, accepting AI into your life as a part of helping you think and process your daily actions. And it's very deceptive. Very deceptive.
Yeah, definitely. Someone's asking, what if God is a woman? The Bible is very specific there. So I wouldn't say a woman.
Now, Flats, watch out, because you know how this gets into lots of theology where Orthodox theology
it ends up in mysticism as well at the end of the day.
Well, what I mean is, like, people will say that God's definitely not Christians will say God's definitely not a woman, but you may have seen me do debates with Orthodox Trinitarians who claim, well, God's not a male either.
Yeah.
Because he can't be, because of theology, because of philosophy. They'll say he's not a male because philosophy won't let him be a male. And I'm sitting there going, I mean, I've had fellow believers mock me by the hundreds in a debate because I'm saying that God is a male. And so then they go to the hyperbolic extreme of mockery. They'll say, well, wait a minute, you think God's a male, so then what do you think? He's got like a penis? You think he takes a poop? Right? And they think that there is some sort of gotcha. And I'm like, I see scripture saying I was made in his image, right? The image of the Father. And I see, even in Trinitarian theology, they believe that Jesus is the embodiment and physical representation of the Father, and he's resurrected as a male with the who could eat food with his disciples, and probably still has a circumcised penis and all that stuff. Like, he was resurrected back to his normal, his actual image. Like, so, but there is philosophy in Orthodox Christianity that teaches the idea that God is androgynous, that he doesn't have sexual reproductive organs. And I don't see that in scripture anywhere, but whenever I try to bring that up, I just get mocked over it.
Yeah.
No, I
And
understand
thus-
what you're saying. This is exactly that. That's why I say that also comes back to mysticism as well.
Yeah.
Because it is based on pagan beliefs that God is an Aphrodite. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's a part of Gnostic
Yeah.
philosophy, which is that the ultimate creator being, not the creator being, but the ultimate God outside of time and space, is androgynous.
Androgynous, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a debate for another day. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. It
I
does
saw
get it.
I saw a hilarious meme one time. It said, "The apophatic God says you don't know me, bro."
Uh-huh.
Apophatic theology says you can't really know God, and that's what a lot of mysticism and early Orthodox Christianity started to portray, which is this idea that if there's something they can't answer, they throw their hands up and say, "God's a mystery. Don't question him."
Mm-hmm. Exactly that. Okay.
Hey, can I say something right quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they want to use these pronouns to build a legal fiction for themselves. They're building their own story day by day. That's why they wanted to go with this pronoun base. Like everybody has to have their own pronouns. That way they can just obfuscate, have no responsibility for their actions, and they tell their story in pronouns. That's just what I'm looking at. It's like a writer's thing.
Do you think that if they were to do something wrong and then they're, I guess, legally a dinosaur now, and then they go to court, then they could say, well, the former Mr. Jackson killed this person, but we don't have anything in the laws saying that dinosaurs are, they can't go out and kill people. So
Yeah, kind of along that lines. Yeah.
okay.
Pronouns. Okay, so pronouns are going to be one of three things. Okay, they are going to be neutral, they're going to be masculine, or they're going to be feminine. Even like in the Spanish, right? We refer to the masculine sun as El Sol, right? And then when we look at the moon, which is feminine, it is La Luna, La, because it's feminine. Okay. These pronouns are, it's he, she, or they. That when it's referring to people, it's he, she, or it. That's it. It's when in the singular. And then you've got, reference, an ambiguous reference to a group as they or them. You see, that's non-gender specific. There are no other ones. These other things that people are throwing in are either made up words or they're words that are not pronouns. They're just words.
Mm-hmm.
So these people are clinically insane that
Mentally
adopt this bullshit. You have to be clinically insane with zero understanding of linguistics to adopt that bullshit.
So that would be like the first state of their defense. That I was legally insane. If they were in court and they just kill somebody,
You're
look at
right.
my pronouns.
We're now euthanizing the insane, so let's do that too.
I see Matters now is taking that call I had with Matt and Aaron last night. After show discussion. That's what it was, Matt Dillahunty and Aaron Raw. But they're probably going to show his video where I don't say anything.
Does he ever muster up any more than like 40 or 50 views?
I don't know. Anyway, but like I said, I'm going to be making a video on this specifically because I have to give more in detail to what my arguments were as well. So do stay tuned. There is going to be a video out about this.
It reads as if you wanted to make a statement by saying that you're old school, still a male, instead of just answering the question. So I'll stop now, and you can prove that the God of the Bible has been shown to be true. Go ahead.
Okay. Simple. God of the Bible has been shown to be true because all creation shows it to be true.
Except that there's no such thing as creation, and all reality shows that creation and God is not true.
That's a claim, correct, guys?
Yes.
Of course, it's a claim.
So any normal person would say, okay, well, you made a claim, please back it up, because you just said there's no such thing as creation.
By the way, Flats, the video, I don't know why, but it's not very loud.
Isn't it loud?
It's not that loud.
Let's see if I can put it louder. Oh, I don't know if I. Full blast, yeah. I'll put it louder by my side. Okay, let's see. Better?
Okay, you just made a claim. Prove it.
Better.
Not really. You got a lot of echo.
Hang on. All right, I made a claim first. Shouldn't you have made a claim first?
You just made a claim that everything is shown not created. So show me what is
Can you answer my question? You made a claim first. Why shouldn't you have to defend your claim before our defense?
Yeah, my claim is all creation shows God to be true. You can't show me what is not true. So the burden is you.
Keith. Keith.
How? Okay.
Keith, yeah. Shut up.
I've got a Ferrari in my backyard.
Oh my God. Keith.
See, I'm muted there. I'm busy talking.
You made a claim first.
On my video, I was busy talking. He mutes me while I'm talking. But you see what just happened? He says, how? So I said, creation shows God to be true. Okay, that's the argument. It's not really a claim, it's just that's the argument. Okay? He comes, Aaron Ra comes and says, there is no such thing as creation. That's his refutation to my argument. So that means he's made a claim now, creation doesn't exist. So is it wrong for me to ask him to provide evidence that there is no creation?
No, they're just being really slick.
Someone's playing in the background. Can you hear the video playing in someone's background?
Yeah. I'm getting
muted.
feedback.
Yeah, someone's.
Me too.
Must be on the TV somewhere.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Oh, you know what?
Like last time they saw. He's the culprit.
Shouldn't you have to defend your claim before Aaron defends his? That's my question. Answer it.
My claim is all creation shows God.
Answer my fucking question, Keith.
See what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's a damn good microphone. I got to tell you that, man.
Do you see what I'm saying? I wasn't being rude to him at all. He asked me to answer.
Play it again.
Hold on a sec. Before you play, if you look at his eyes, there's actually red in it.
Uh-huh. He was getting
Wow.
really angry as well. Okay, 10 seconds back. Okay.
Before Aaron defends his. That's my question. Answer it.
My claim is all creation shows God.
Answer my fucking question, Keith.
I just said.
No. Shut up, Keith, and listen. I'm going to mute you.
How do you shut up and answer at the same time? That's my
Answer. Shut up. Answer.
Shut up while you answer, please. Shut up while you answer now.
As many debates as I've
Give
done,
me,
this is the
give me
tactic.
your answer without speaking.
Yep. I can't believe he got that upset.
John, you want to say something? I see it.
Yeah, I don't know if I came through or not, but I was just saying I've seen this in all the debates that I do where they're looking for you to say a specific answer. You don't say that, they get mad, and they keep saying you're not answering them, but you're just not giving them the answer they want because they're trying to set you up.
That's right. That's right.
That's exactly what was happening, and this is why I didn't play their game. Because he wanted to do a loaded questions, where it's like it's just a yes or no answer. That's it. He doesn't want me to give a backup. He doesn't want me to give a rebuttal. It's just you say yes or no. That's what he wants because he wants it to go a certain way, and it's not going to happen that way. This is, and I could see it straight away.
It's loaded. It's like yes or no. Do you still beat your wife?
Right.
Yes or no. That's all you can answer is yes or no. If you answer no, it indicates that you once beat your wife. And have stopped.
Exactly.
You see, that's exactly the kind of thing they're trying to put you in.
Yes or no, or the hormones your husband's taking causing medical issues.
Yeah, and that's exactly why, and they couldn't get it right.
Again, I swear, I've asked a fucking question. Listen very careful.
You're an
English.
angry little fucker, isn't
Oh
This
boy.
is a yes or no question. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Here we go. You made a claim before RN made his claim. I'm going to unmute you and ask the question. Shouldn't you have to defend your claim first? Yes or no?
Yes, and my claim is.
No, no.
Yes. I answered you, and then I go to my rebuttal after I answered you. That's how it works.
I gotta say, guys, when I see atheists get like this, I just in my head I start playing a little movie, and I just hear Goliath shouting, "Who is this dog that challenges me?" And I just start seeing David reaching down and grabbing those stones. I'm just like, that's just like the little animated soundtrack to my head that goes with this type of behavior in life. Of like,
What movie? Maybe this movie? Maybe this movie?
Oh, Office Space.
Office Space is so great.
Yeah.
So
Mike Judge is a genius, man. He's the one behind Idiocracy, King of the Hill, all that, man.
Don't forget Beavis and Butthead.
I still watch
yeah.
King of the Hill reruns, man. I love King of the Hill. Hank
wait.
Hill's funny as hell.
Sean, when you're saying you're playing a movie in your head, that's the old movies I used to watch, and yeah, exactly. That's it.
Yeah, I just think to myself, if
Yeah.
they're so belligerent where they can't allow you to speak truth, that's what I was joking about earlier. There is, okay, I'm going to say this very carefully because I know we're on YouTube. There is, there's no doubt in my mind that if people with this behavior had any type of power, Christian persecution would be 1,000 times worse in every country.
Oh yeah, 100%.
No, and of course, this is, in my opinion, this is why, especially in the United States, they're trying to enact laws to reverse the Second Amendment and steal our guns as much as possible. And I don't want to fall into a cliche, but that's just the reality of what's happening.
Yep.
And so I just think that these people, this attitude right here, let me mute you. You don't answer what I say. You don't do what I say. Like, it's just he's traded the SS uniform for flannel. That's all it is.
Yep.
Yeah, this is North Korea in America.
Yeah.
And this is what they promote. This is what they promote all over YouTube and the other stuff.
In the same sense, I feel like, and this is why, I mean, even Albert Pike said we're going to unleash the atheists upon the world. They're kind of interconnected with the little tiny hat people because even they have this whole idea of, if they were to rule the earth right fully, that Christians would be under their feet, right?
Yep.
But,
It's a yes or no, not yes and. I'd like to actually get to this.
So would I.
Oh
I want to hear how anything in creation points to God.
Here we go. Keith claimed all creation shows that it is true that the God of the Bible exists. That is your claim, yes or no?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Now.
And then he
all
muted you.
You see how he's trying to lead me now because he wants me to say certain things. He doesn't want to hear my actual argument.
This is painful. That's all I got to say.
You want to know what's funny is like he's claiming that God doesn't exist, yet he's got the Baphomet behind him, and the only reason to have this Baphomet symbol is because Satan fell from God creating him.
Yep.
He's
like the anti.
It's like he's contradicting himself with that stupid thing behind his head.
Yep.
Exactly.
He has no idea. He has no idea what he's messing with, man. When I see people
No.
messing with these things, I'm like, you don't have any idea what you're playing with.
No, none.
No. And the thing is, I don't see why he's got to have a go-between. I want to see you debate him one-on-one without the.
Well, yeah, I would love to have a formal debate, a proper formal debate.
Yeah.
I think that's why he was probably.
He's
This
just
is
gonna
what-
scream over you.
This is why I've generally seen these like call-in kind of debates. Is that it will just be them muting you, you know, it doesn't matter.
So
You would have to
Mick-
do a debate, ideally.
So sorry, Miss Matt, thank you for your super chat saying nothing. I think there was a super sticker. Thank you very much for the $2 super chat. Really appreciate it. You rock.
But yeah, on
Yeah.
that Ironworks, he doesn't really believe in the like metaphysics, like supernatural mysticism, Aleister Crowley, any of that stuff. He said he used to put people through it because he used to be like deep into paganism, and then he realized, oh, it's just fake. Apparently,
He used to be a Christian apparently as well. So
I'm talking about Aaron Ra.
yeah, Aaron Ra.
It's fake, huh?
But yeah, no, apparently he put people through mystical experiences, and then he came out and said, it's all just fake, man.
Yeah, it's sad, but
one ayahuasca trip too many.
but you see, I would rather, to be fair, I'd rather debate Dillahunty rather than Aaron Ra, because Aaron Ra has a way of just being. He's got a different type of condescending tone to him. You know what I mean? Than Aaron Ra. They're both condescending, but they have two different styles. Aaron Ra is just simply his hand wave dismisses. Nah, you're an idiot. I'm more smarter than you. You know, but in a way, like nothing you're going to tell me is going to change my mind. Well, they're both the same, but the way they present it is different. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Aaron Ra takes it more like a joke, where I think Matt takes it seriously, but he takes it more on the line of nothing you present will ever change my mind. Aaron Ra takes it, you can present it, let's go through it, but then I'm just going to tell you you're wrong anyway.
Yeah,
true.
But yeah, I would debate any of these guys actually with a proper debate platform, because then he wouldn't be able to do what he did last night.
Anything that exists that is not part of the set that you've called all creation.
Sorry, say again?
Is there anything that exists in reality that is not a part of the set of things that you are calling all creation?
No.
No, everything is created. If the foundation is created by
Hang
God,
on.
everything that comes after.
These are yes or no fucking questions. I swear.
That's so triggered.
I'm not allowed to give a rebuttal, a response to what my argument is.
Yeah.
I think he knew if I actually had to give a response, then he would be dead in the water. I think that's the whole issue.
Mm-hmm.
Answer anything other than yes or no to the yes or no fucking. Shut the fuck up, Keith.
Dumbledore said calmly.
I'm going to mute you. I'm only going to long enough to say yes or no. I don't know if you're stupid or what, but I'm asking specific questions that clarify your position so that everybody can understand exactly what you're claiming. And then once we've established that, I will then allow you to defend that position beyond a yes or no. Do you understand yes or no?
Yes, I do.
So,
You heard him. He said then I can explain myself, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
you're saying that all creation shows that the God of the Bible is true. And my question was, is everything that exists in reality part of the set that you're saying is all creation? Yes or no?
Yes.
So this towel that I'm holding is part of creation. This comb that I'm holding is part of creation. And this piece of sand that is on my desk is part of creation, correct?
Yes.
How does this piece of sand...
Why do you have sand on your desk?
The God of the Bible is true. That's not a yes or no question. You may begin your defense that this piece of sand proves that the God of the Bible is true.
You see what he did there? He specifically wanted me to talk about sand.
Yes.
Okay? But it's like, fine, I'll play around with it. I could have given something else, but because you specifically brought it out, and if I say something else, he's probably going to swear at me and mute me again. So then I played around and said, okay, let's do the sand. It's okay, I can do that.
Thank you.
Because of its molecular structure, it can only be created. Nature can't create itself.
And the smirk is gone.
How do you know what it
If nature
I mean-
always existed and was never created, then it didn't create itself.
And that's where we get to the oxymoron. If nature always existed, then it never created itself. For it to exist, it had to be created. Because it's natural. This is why they don't like God being the uncreated God.
That's where I
Because
was saying this is the Gnostic belief. That's what this is. This is all Gnosticism.
hmm I mean, can anybody show me nature where it just exists? Or does it go through a process of existence, creation?
Well, even if we look at a process even today, we can testify that to something that happened in the past.
All right, bro.
I think they're trying to tell themselves that they are going to be a god one day, and they have their own creation.
Yeah, well, the Bible does say that they are self-worshippers. They worship self. And that's exactly what's going on.
Yep.
That's why Aaron Ross sees himself as Baphomet.
But yeah, it's an oxymoron to claim there's no such thing as creation, and claim then, okay, nature by itself has just always been there. By proxy, that means it created itself. Because they're giving nature divine attributes that's over nature. You can't do that.
That would violate the first law of thermodynamics.
Wait, the first law of
Thermodynamics only applies inside the universe, not outside.
Yeah, and also says that matter cannot be.
You heard that? We are in the universe. You just brought up sand. Last time I checked, sand is in the universe.
Be created or destroyed. So our position is that it wasn't created and won't be destroyed. So you are arguing for a position that violates the first law of thermodynamics. Yours is the one that you need to defend your violation of that first law.
How am I violating the first law, guys? I just want to say thank you again, Miss May, for another $2 super chat saying nothing again. If you want to say something, just tag me. I don't know if it's a mistake or not, but thank you very much. Really appreciate the support. You rock.
Yeah, I don't think sand is outside the universe, so I don't really see a problem with this argument.
Is he talking about the first law of thermodynamics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that says energy.
Nothing can be created or destroyed. Yeah.
So how
Because
is that a violation by holding a Christian belief that there's already someone who possesses the energy, which then creates creation?
That's exactly my point. It's not. They are trying to reverse the burden onto me when it's them that's violating it, because they're claiming nature always existed. In other words, they're claiming nature created itself. Even though they don't want to accept that, that's exactly what they're claiming. So they are violating the first law. Now they're trying to push it onto me and saying, I'm claiming this, so therefore it's my violation.
So these, I don't know the entire belief set of these two men, but do they hold to the idea of the Catholic Big Bang?
I think they do.
So, yes. Yes, because the lady previous to old Anton LaVey here, all she was doing was discussing the Big Bang, and Matt didn't seem to be objecting against what she was saying.
Interesting. So they're okay with religion producing that.
Well, where did the Big Bang come from? It had to have energy to start with, right?
You're from a Christian.
And it came from a Jesuit priest, didn't it?
Jesuit priest, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Jesuit priest. Ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird because they're projecting it onto me.
Yeah, I don't get it because you say it's violating the first law of thermodynamics. Then Aaron Ross says, "Yeah, that's talking inside the universe, not outside."
Yep.
You were talking about sand, right? You were talking about physical things
which
inside
is in the universe.
But then I guess he would say that doesn't apply to God because he's outside the universe.
Yeah.
Which
the things that suck about these lies, right, is that since they have no real foundation, since there's no reality behind them, you could say a bunch of words and then hope that the person that you're challenging doesn't understand what the hell you're saying. But when you have clarity of mind and you understand perfectly what they think they're trying to say, like they get wound up in their their bull crap. They get wound up in it. And then they don't even know what the hell they're saying, really.
Right. It's so emotional driven. This is where you can't have logic consistency when you're so heated and emotional like this, which is why they just talk over you, go on to the next subject, turn the caller off, whatever they can do to move on, and then just claim they won, claim their superior intellect. Hey guys, I got to jump off. I got a show coming up here in about 30 minutes. But
we're gonna end that anyway. So you can actually, I think everybody can go over to you then. I think that'll be awesome.
Okay, that's fine. I appreciate it. Would you guys, before I jump off, would you mind if I read a couple passages real quick? Just a couple lines from a biblical passage, because it's specifically about liars. So I think it might be fun. This is actually in 1 Enoch 62, where all things are being judged before Christ. So it says, and therefore the Lord commanded the kings and the mighty and the exalted, those who dwell on the earth, and he said, open your eyes and lift up your horns if you're able to recognize the elect one. The Lord of spirits has seated him on the throne of his glory, and the spirit of righteousness was poured out upon him, and the word of his mouth, it slays all the sinners, and all the unrighteous are destroyed from before his face. And there shall stand up in that day all the kings and all the mighty and the exalted and those who hold the earth, and they shall see and recognize how he, the elect one, sits on the throne of his glory, and righteousness is judged before him, and no lying word is spoken before him. And then they shall come upon pain, as a woman in travail, as she who is bringing forth when her child enters the mouth of the womb, and she's in pain bringing forth. And one portion of them shall look on the other portion, and they shall be terrified, and they shall be downcast of countenance, and pain will seize them when they see the Son of Man sitting on the throne of his glory. And the kings and the mighty and all who possess the earth will bless and glorify and extol him who rules over all who was hidden. For from the beginning the Son of Man was hidden, and the Most High preserved him in the presence of his might and revealed him to the elect. And the congregation of the elect and the holy will be sown, and the elect shall stand before him on that day. And the kings and the mighty and the exalted and those who ruled the earth will fall down before him on their face and set their hope upon the Son of Man and petition him and supplicate for mercy at his hands. Nevertheless, the Lord of spirits will so press them that they will hastily go forth from his presence, and their faces will be filled with shame, and darkness grows deeper on their faces. He will deliver them to the angels for punishment, to execute vengeance on them, because they've oppressed his children and his elect.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Wait, what chapter and verse is this? From where?
That's the 1 Enoch 62. So it's this is the moment you see talking about in Jude 1:14. This is the moment you see in other passages throughout the scriptures, Matthew 25, 31 through 46. This is obviously what's interesting about this, though, is back up there around like verse 3 or 4. It says basically all the kings of the earth, the mighty, the exalted, those who are going to be receiving punishment, they then see the righteous being judged by the Son of Man, and how no lying word is spoken before the Son of Man. That's then what causes pain to come upon them, and fear and terror, because they realize they can't get their BS by the Son of Man.
Yep.
So like
right. That's right. So it's a unique moment that's being described here, as if imagine like a large throngs of people having to watch the righteous being given their rewards by the Son of Man and being, come into the inheritance prepared for you since the foundation of the world. But then they step forward, and it's just pure punishment of judgment. They're not getting any good stuff from, and they know that, like, they're terrified because they realize this is real. This isn't a dream.
Nobody believes their lies anymore. That's why.
Exactly.
Yes.
We can't fool this guy.
That is out there. There's nothing that they can say or do that can deceive the people.
Yeah.
So this is why. Is, I know it's kind of like a joke, like that's the epitome of what we see. Gentlemen who they lie about their own stance 5 years later. They misrepresent and lie about what you believe, so they They lie in all regards because it's literally the spirit of the unclean spirits just to troll you. Just like the ones in the demoniac did to Christ in Matthew 8. They said, have you come to torment us before the appointed time? That's casting negative aspersions on the Son of Man, that he would disregard his Father's time for when judgment truly happens, and he would just take power into his own hands. Like, that's actually denigrating the character of Christ right to his face. Like, they're just trolling Christ right there. But that's the nature of these unclean spirits, and that's the easiest fruit to see. Sorry. Anyway, that's all I had. I appreciate you guys having me on, and I got to jump off and get ready for the show.
It's always a pleasure to have you on, man. And yeah, guys.
Hey, Sean. By the way, do you have a link that we can join, or?
Yeah.
It's just on my it'll be the live.
I'll put it up for you.
YouTube and Lighthouse, the live tab. It's a show coming up about 30 minutes with a former NFL player.
Awesome. Yeah.
Will we be able to also join in like this, or no?
No, it's just an exclusive interview with him because he's got a ministry he's doing that trying to reach kids and stuff, and so we're going to interview him. And he also, I think he disagrees with me about some scripture, so he wants to talk to me a little bit. So we're gonna have a good combo.
I was hoping at the end maybe like a Witsit kind of thing where you open it up to the. You know what I mean?
I do call in shows from time to time, but not with this because I'm just kind of highlighting his ministry efforts.
Sure. Yeah. I understand. Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you. I'll see you later.
You got
Thanks
it, man.
for coming, Sean. Blessings, man.
Good to be on, man. Be easy, brother.
Yeah, I just want to say, Ms. Mac sent this. This was the super chat was saying, the meteor she speaks of in Portugal was said to be a piece of ice fragment. That would make sense if the firmament is a glass-like ice barrier. Also, never hit Earth. Yep. That's exactly. I mean, I've seen this argument as well that it's a piece of the firmament, which is ice.
Yeah.
So yeah. No, I've seen that because that's why when they fight for blue ice or something like what they get in
Antarctica.
In Antarctica, they claim that's what the firmament's made out of, that blue ice.
Mm-hmm.
Which could be. We never know. I mean, we don't
I
really
heard
know
it
what.
was, for some reason, I heard that it was similar to like a natural glass that was made in. Because if it was something that would have to be made in nature, it would be something that was made in nature. Yeah. So I heard it was similar to like Bohemian desert glass or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Okay, guys. So that was a cool show. Really appreciate it. So I'll be streaming tomorrow night again, 8:15, a bit earlier, and then PJ will do Friday night. So I will see you guys tomorrow if you guys are interested. We'll see what we'll do. Looking forward to it. I just want to say thank you for everybody that supports the show. You guys rock. You guys have any closing statements in the panel?
No.
Dave,
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Probably going to go live tonight. We'll see what happens here. But most likely, I always, if not tonight, definitely tomorrow night. So,
full panel tonight. That's all I can say.
Mother, I don't know why. I just want to. I don't know why I said Bohemian. I just meant desert glass. I'm a little sleepy, man. I've been up for like a few hours.
I'm surprised you didn't say Uncle Arctica.
Yeah.
And yeah, by the way, Jeff had an awesome reading of Joshua again today, so do make sure you go watch that, guys. Yes, Jeff does have a channel, and he does do readings. He's done a whole series on Enoch, and now he's busy with Joshua, so definitely go and listen to that. It's really awesome.
So, Jeff, are you going to make it to Jubilees?
Of course I am.
Of course. That's what I hope.
Yeah, I will do Jubilees next after I'm done Joshua, and then I'm going to go through... starting with Genesis and go through those too. I think I'm just gonna do the whole Bible, man.
Nice.
All of it.
Awesome. And PJ, you gonna have a show tomorrow morning? I think he's busy though.
Yeah.
I think he's on the phone with Vicky.
Yeah, probably.
I'm gonna have my show tomorrow night. True Word Tuesday.
Awesome.
Nice.
Do you have anything special planned?
Yes, I do. I just have to check my notes, and actually, this is going to be going over the Urbano. We going back to the map, baby. 1587 Urbano Monte. Once again, I found some stuff, and I think it needs to be.
Awesome.
Hey,
Yeah, guys.
If you want me to join, go ahead and feel free to email me. Okay, you got my email address. It's in the private chat.
Yeah, man. Same here.
Anybody else, likewise, if you want me to join or If I piss you off, then no, but it's all good.
No. Let me see. Wait, is this? I got flat Canucks head, and wait, is this buttered?
Look, yeah, buttered, yeah.
Okay.
It's in the private chat, man. I don't.
I got I got
you. You guys all got it. So if you guys want to,
I'm putting it out for everybody. I'm doing it right there.
No, don't do that, Sovereign. All right, anyway, if you do, that's cool. I'll just drop it. It's cool. That's a spare thing, but it does have my name in there, so you guys know who I really am, and it's all good. I don't care. So that's that. All right, guys.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to say
No,
thank
it
you guys. You all rock. Really appreciate you all. It's cool to have such a full panel on, and I think it's really awesome. You guys really do make the show awesome. So thank you. We'll see you all tomorrow night. Remember to support everybody. Go over to Sean and say hi to him, and later on to his ever